It's crazy. Hello. Hello. It is, well, I don't know if we can say it's early anymore. I feel like 2 weeks in a row, we're kind of over. It's early. It's kind of just normal now. Look at Bobby's history, like his in-game history.
Rozzy is a bitch.
Man, he really wants to beat me, huh? He really wants to beat me. That's rough. That is rough. What is this more? 2800? God damn, bro. Actually, I had a match like this the other day, so I don't feel too bad. Or he shouldn't feel too bad. He got cooked by Lass in the jungle? With what the fuck? Oh, it's missing the new item. Yo, what was he building? Like, what? What the? I just. All right. If you're trying to be like a hybrid build, sure. I'm actually down. But like, he has no mana sustain. He's got no movement. He has no cooldown except for what the fuck? Wait, he's solo? What the fuck was he doing? Oh, you're right. What was he doing? This is a solo build? Bro, his teammates had to have been losing their fucking minds. Last item to solve. I can't. I fucking can't. What was he even doing this game? Legitimately, was he rooting them in his ult and it was hitting for 5? Yeah, donate 200 to play Zeus all day. He could have played it better. My expectations for today's patch notes are they're gonna make it so Art Alt, Scotty Dog, Basset Cats, Nuwa minions, anything that spawns or like goes out that isn't just a passive, like something that's part of an ability in some way, are all gonna proc items like Soul Reaver, Soul Gem, Crusher. But my prediction is they nerf the fuck out of them first. I don't know how else that wouldn't be OP. I already think Scotty is super viable right now. Artemis is viable. Nuwa is viable. Basset's good, like one of the top junglers. So if they don't maybe in Spider, if they don't nerf them first, and I don't even know what they would do to nerf them. Like just take, like, are they gonna nerf base damage? Like I don't know what they're gonna do. That's my prediction right now. I have no idea how else they would buff that and it not be completely fucking broken. Erling's dog is a passive, so no, I would assume Erling's dog is not part of that. You don't use an ability to have Erling's dog do damage. I don't know if Basset's Cat is gonna group root. It looks like it might, but it's gonna do AoE damage for clear and then proc items. No, items, not kins, bro. Not crit, not auto attacks. Items. On hit effects are not the same as items that proc. No, kins is on hit. Kins is on an auto attack. Just like any ability. Like by that logic, then Kins would proc on a bunch of shit that it's, you know, on abilities, you know. Spider's one shot, maybe. I'll donate $200 if you play only Cthulhu all day. Bro, it is $25 to request one god for me. I'm not Bobby. I love him to death. But when you got 10x the viewership, you can charge 4x the price. That's gonna donate Bobby to play Zeus. Yeah, you might want to maybe Andy or maybe Double J. I don't even think Cthulhu would be on my list for that though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think you could pay me enough to play Cthulhu all day. I'm like, I just don't think that's possible. A god I would. It's more like gods I wouldn't, right? It's like kept the boring shit, the shit that is zero fucking fun. Your Sobex, your Kepris, your Ganeshas, your fucking Cthulhus, your Bakes, your Fafnirs, your Shingtens. Like I feel like most hunters I probably would because I can play in every role. Most mages I probably would because I can play them in every role, except for like Afro, maybe like a handful of other ones. Warriors would be another one that would probably put me to sleep. I don't think I can play Nike or Mulan or Horus or King Arthur or Cucullin all day. Did I just name all the Guardians? No, because you still have Ares, Ardeo, Athena, Atlas, Bacchus, Cabrakan, Cerberus, Charon, fucking Geb, Yorm, Kumba, Kuz, Maui. Yeah, that's like Ganesh. I don't like. There's some gods I do not want to play. You gotta realize, shit's only content if I can turn it into content. If it's putting me to sleep, I can't turn it into content. Then it's just like me waiting for the fucking time to run out. Artemis is fine. Artemis you can play in like every role. Mulan's fun until you hit late game. Or mid late game, not even fully late game. Because she fucking sucks late game.
Said I gotta pay more? Yeah, he's more expensive. He's like, I'm like one of those cheap hookers. Like, you find me on the corner, give me like 20, I'll do just about anything. Kurt's like one of those like high-end escorts. You gotta like call a landline, set up an appointment. He shows up in like $2,000 Gucci shoes. Said I gotta pay more? Yeah, he's more expensive. It's
pretty good. Fucking idiot. Bro, I had someone comment on my YouTube and it was like, here, let me find it. It was from when we did our 24-hour stream. That shit was like some of the most fun I ever had streaming, by the way. Let me find this fucking comment. Yeah, it was Weekend is smart funny, Double J is silly funny, Bobby is dumb funny, and El Leon is just funny as fuck. I just don't have the word for it. Bobby is definitely dumb funny. Oh fuck. Oh man, I hope these patch notes have some good content outside of what they leaked. So they leaked an item that looks like a mage item, puts a debuff on somebody, and it looks like when they cast an ability, it does damage. No clue, you know, if it scales on your items, on your power, on something they have. So that was they showed, and then they showed fucking Basset's cat doing AoE damage to a camp and proccing crushers. Original Bastet back to Smite 2? No. Bastet right now is really good. Original Bastet, bro. You have to understand, if you couldn't trap somebody with your ult, so Bastet's original, I think original, right? Bastet was changed like 3 times. I'm pretty sure Basset's original ult. No, wait, fuck. One of hers was you like buff the cats. I don't know. The last one, there was the 3 cats on the ult. The only way you could play Bastet is if you could consistently trap somebody with the 3 cats. If you didn't know how to place them to trap somebody, there was no reason to play that god. It was 0 fucking point. If you could trap them, you could 100-0 them, and they couldn't play the game. So you need to be able to do that like very, very consistently, and there were not a lot of people that could do that. It's just like OG Arachne. If you put OG Arachne into like Smite now, it would be dog shit. Oh yeah, Bastet? Was it? No, it was Naja, right? Naja's original passive was for dead teammates or some shit. No, was it a heal? I don't know. Naja had a passive. It was like when Naja died, there was like you did something to teammate. Like it was only happened when you died. It was not good. It's just like fucking Persephone's ult now is dog shit. It went from being the best ult or passive ever in the game to being dog shit. It wasn't even like a healing circle, right? It was like a HP 5 circle or something. I don't think it gave you an insane buff, bro. I'm pretty sure it gave you a dog shit like 5 health per second buff. Hold on, let me see this, because it was literally one of the worst passes in the history of the game. Is there like a an edits on the fucking wiki? Can you see all previous fucking passives? Oh, change log. Dude, there's so many changes. I can't find the original one. Yeah. No, that's HP 5. Where's the fucking... I can't see the original one. No, it wasn't OP. It was considered dog shit. It was like in a small circle. It was only when you died, so it had no use to you. It was questionable. Oh, replaced abilities. You're right. Yeah, but wait, how do you see the original one? Oh. When you die, you are your dead bodies replaced,
nice
healing out nearby allies every second,
junglers
increasing
in the
their
world.
protections. Radius is 30, protections are 30. Heal per tick was 10% of Naja's maximum health. I could have sworn it was HP 5. I don't remember it being percent heals. Because I never saw a clip or anything of it doing anything. Like, you know, turning a fight or some shit. Did any of you guys ever play the original Ravana? Pretty sure this is the worst release of all time. Bro, what is this art? Look at this shit.
Scholar, a peerless leader and now invincible. Raven amassed an army of fiends and monsters to conquer the world. The Monkey King tried to...
Raven's passive is called Chain of Blows. Each successful hit, within 5 seconds, adds to Raven's combo chain and increases the damage of Prana Onslaught up to 60%.
Okay. So when they released that sounded so... It does look like shit. It sounded so fucking OP. It sounded
Raven's first
sick.
ability is called
And I
Prana
still
Onslaught.
think that would be a more assassin passive than what we currently have, which is a shield. Way more of an assassin passive.
Raven throws a powerful punch that damages and slows all enemies in front of him. Raven's second ability is called Overhead Kick. Raven performs a high kick, sending a shockwave forward to all
Wait,
enemies.
is this the
in
original
line.
one?
Raven is
This must
unable to
be.
be damaged during this action. Raven's third ability is called 10-Hand Shadow Fist. Raven's fists fly forward, healing
Wait,
him
is this
for
the
each
original
enemy
one?
hit, as well as damaging and rooting the first
Or is this the
enemy down.
re-release?
Raven's ultimate is called Mystic Rush. Raven dashes to his target, knocking
this is
aside
it.
all enemies in his path and dealing damage to his
It's all
target.
so bad.
The target is then linked to Raven for a short duration of time and will be the only enemy god who can deal full damage to Raven.
This is so bad.
Raven specializes at sticking
Bro, if you ulted this, so it didn't do damage until it
to
landed,
target.
right?
With his
So if you ulted while they were backing, it would take you all the way to their base, and then you would just die in the well.
unique ability to avoid or reduce incoming damage, he is always able to find that one-on-one fight he craves.
He did
Here are some
0
sparring
fucking
tips for
damage,
Raven.
bro.
Activate his
Pretty sure that
10-hand
Ymir just hit
Shadow
harder
Fist
than he
to
did.
root a target long enough to catch up with them. Throw some basic attacks and then fire Prana Onslaught to keep
I
them
still
from
like the
getting
idea
away.
of his
In the
one
event
getting
they
buff
do
from
get away,
autos. That just
use your
sounds dope.
ultimate to chase them down. In the early game, you want to use 10-hand Shadow Fist to clear the jungle.
Actually, it
and
sounds like
enemy
you'd one-shot
positions.
somebody, which would be sick.
All of Raven's abilities.
Make Ravana great again. What about oh yeah. Let's see Bastet's release.
Or Bastet, Mad, Illiger, Otter, Best,
Bro, their fucking animations are so much better than this dog shit now.
Additional damage and remove the wound instantly. Her first ability is called
Make
Pounce.
Ravana worse
Bastet
again?
pounces to her target location, damaging enemies within the radius. For 4 seconds after pouncing, Bastet can activate the ability again, pouncing back to her initial location. Her
So this ability, it doesn't say it on here. Does it show it?
damaging enemies. First ability is called Pounce. Bastet pounces to her target
Why
location.
doesn't it show it? So you could break CC with your jump back. So like, if Ul stunned him here, he could one back and it would break, like the CC would stop and he would go back. I think that might be one of the
Damaging
best like
enemies within the
secondary
radius.
parts of an
For 4
ability in the
seconds
history of
after
Smite.
pouncing, Bastet can activate the ability again, pouncing back to her initial location.
That shit was fucking
Her
nuts.
second ability is called Razor Whip. Bastet swipes at her enemies, causing them to bleed for damage every second for the duration. Bastet's third ability is called Declaw. Bastet throws her dagger, which detonates on her target, dealing damage and slowing the enemies in the area.
That 3 always felt
Bastet's
bad.
ultimate is called Cat Call. Bastet summons 3 cats that attack nearby targets, slowing and damaging them.
Yeah,
Since
so the way that would work,
is called the area. Bastet's ultimate is called Cat Call.
so if you were, if like Ul was standing in the middle of this and you dropped it correctly, the cats and you would pinch him and he wouldn't be able to move. If you didn't do that, the motherfucker would just walk away every time.
Bastet summons
Bro, this
3
Bastet
cats
was
that
so
attack nearby
bad.
targets, slowing and damaging them.
Like
Sensing the
his ult isn't even for fucking 38 a cat. So if
smell
they
of
can't
blood,
consistently
the
hit
cats
over
will
and over and
attack
over again,
bleeding
you ain't doing
enemies
shit.
First. In this first fight, Bastet comes from the jungle for a gank.
abilities
Activating
also hit
Razor
for
Whip
nothing.
And Declaw. She continues pursuing the Smith of the Gods as a few additional basic attacks taken down.
Backdoor
A
Craig
bot?
has him.
Yo, what up, Yaki?
In
Oh
the
yeah,
second
back
fight,
when there was no
Bastet
backdoor
leads her
protections.
team
You
toward
get
the
split
fire
push.
giant. Pouncing in, she finds the enemy team already fighting for the buff. A quick combo of Razor Whip, Cat Call, and Declaw take down Anubis as Bastet scurries away. In this final fight, Bastet pounces to a team fight in mid lane. Activating Cat Call and Razor Whip, she takes down Zhonghui. Shifting focus to Guan Yu, Bastet brings down the
Hog
Saint
was
of
so
War.
yeah.
Continuing
Bro,
on
what the
against
fuck
the
is
Smith
this
of the
build?
Gods, Bastet
This is OG Heartseeker. Oh, you guys can't see it. Yeah, you kind of can. This is a stacking Heartseeker. I'm pretty sure that when you died,
with a
de-stacked.
Declaw and Razor Whip combo. A quick pounce to Neath seals the fate of the
I do
Weaver.
miss the no beads shit, like having Hog and not everyone having beads early, so ganks were possible. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I kind of expected them to do something like that with Smite 2, and then when they did beads, everybody on a longer cooldown, I was like, all right, it's like similar-ish. There's some comparisons there, but then they reduced the cooldown. Feels bad, man. Who else? What about fucking? What about this motherfucker's release? Oh, this is Intersect. I want to watch the reveal. Bologna's fucking release.
Lucius. Bologna was conflict. For receiving hits from basic attacks, Bologna
She
gains
scaled
protections and
so
movement speed.
differently on release.
Her
though.
first ability is called Shield Bash. Bologna dashes forward and
We got some
bashes her
bad weather coming
shield,
tonight.
dealing
Wish you
damage
luck.
and
Oh,
slowing
no.
enemies.
Stay safe,
Additionally,
Smackin'.
Bologna absorbs all damage from a single basic attack and reflects a portion of the damage around her. Bologna then makes basic attacks with a sword and shield. Her second ability is called Bludgeon. Bologna summons a hammer and spins, hitting every enemy around
That
her
shit
and then
used to scale wildly, just absolutely wildly. Oh, you wanted to see here? Hold on. You guys want to see Zhong? I don't even remember. Can this go full screen? Thank you. The Demon Queller.
tasked these. When he uses recall demons, each pulse from the back
Did we miss this?
Don Kui captures from exorcism.
Oh yeah, look.
Don
This is all that mattered, bro.
Exorcism. John Kui healing him. John Kui's third ability
Oh, his
is called
ult.
getting stunned longer. It's nearby John Kui, firing for a percentage of John Kui's basic damage. Ace forever, doing damage to
I'll never forget this, dude. It wasn't until after they took this part away that people started playing Jean Kui regularly. I'll never forget it. I still to this day can't process how we all knew that this was a fucking damaging healing ult AoE and we didn't think it was OP. Yeah, his passive. Well, that I still get caught up that you don't have to stack his passive with your 1-2 sometimes. One of the most OP releases of all time. Where is here we go.
Nemesis's passive is called Scales of Fate. Nemesis.
So I never had to deal with this, by the way. I took a 3-month break. This was right before I went like fully pro. I took a 3-month break, and it was when Nemesis released. So I never had to deal with this.
Holds the scales of balance.
I started playing
Hitting
again, and they
enemies
nerfed
with
her.
basic
They like
attacks
reverted her,
tips
whatever,
the
back to an
scales
assassin, or
in her
made her an
favor,
assassin, not
increasing her
reverted her.
damage while decreasing that of enemies hit. Her first ability is called Swift Vengeance.
Her dash was
Nemesis
shit.
dashes in a line. Her second ability, Nemesis. Of her Nemesis's third ability
This is what was
called
OP.
Retribution.
This had no limit. It was just like a ridiculous shield that reflected and 100% reflected, 100% healed everything for a second. And she was a warrior. So you could build full defense, take no damage, and stand in like a Kraken and basically 100-0 the Poseidon. That shit was so fucking busted. Release Guan was busted, but it was against the kit, but also the time. That's Yuang. No, that's a tutorial. This is coming soon. Do they not have a release? I guess they probably didn't have a release for this. So that was what was OP, dude. That's his ult. Like he could cover the whole fucking lane, bounce around with his ult and do a ton of damage. It has like the highest scaling on the side. What up, Bobby? Yo, fathead patch notes. They're up? Early? I feel like you're trolling me. They're not up yet. It's just some more fucking assault on that shit channel. Oh yeah. I'm done. I can move you. Just let me know. Who else? How many of you never saw the original Arachne? Oh, we watched this. We showed that. I forgot. Hey, dude, they don't have releases for any of this shit. What's up, Rhino? Waiting for patch notes. I don't know if this was somebody's gameplay.
There we go.
But he's playing it in a lane. This was before there was jungle. Like, there was a jungle, but it wasn't a jungler.
Do some damage here, and then we'll do our number 2.
So if I'm not mistaken, if I remember this correctly, you had eggs, you could drop 5 of them. When someone got within a radius, they would pop out and start fucking the person up. Your 2 is like Circuit ult now, except for it sucked. You basically humped their face and sucked their life away, and took it. Like you stole life. Your 3 was an AoE slow. I don't think it did damage. Your ultimate was Sylvanas' pull. I think it went further, but it was skinnier.
Number 2, and there we go.
No brawlers, Tempo.
Keep missing with that.
Transcendence, Fail Not, Heart Seeker, Titan's Bane. No Crusher.
And now we got the tower.
Sus?
Well, that worked.
What's sus? Tally's always sus. When you jungled,
We got this tower.
it was
too.
all
They got
about
3
like
dead.
setting your spiders up and pulling somebody into them. So like you could put them on a Phoenix and yoink somebody while they were sieging and you'd insta kill them pretty much. Your spiders would just go crazy if you had 5
Watch
rounds.
out for Hebo. Right there.
I just realized his build is fucking up here. And it's the same old Frostbound 11 years later.
Yeah, I don't think we should really stay here anymore, but it's just
It's
me.
wild. Is this base not very, very similar to Smite 2's base? But with doors? It's gotta be like the same. It's gotta be the same. This is probably the most fun release Smite's ever had for PTS, and I guess for live too. PTS he was bugged though, so he was extra fun.
Ratataskr's passive is called the Acorn of Yggdrasil. Ratatoskr spawns with a powerful acorn already in his inventory. He can upgrade his acorn through the item store from anywhere on the map to strengthen himself and enhance his abilities. First up is his 1. It's called Dart. Ratatoskr dashes in the target direction, dealing damage to all enemies along the way. If Ratatoskr strikes an enemy god he has not struck with Dart in the last 10 seconds, the cooldown is
Blackheart.
actually reset. His second
Bats
ability
is the same
called
as he's always
Flurry
been
of
though, right?
Acorns. Ratatoskr spins in a circle, shooting 12 acorns out in a circle around him that freeze in the air briefly, then return to wherever Ratatoskr is currently.
So when you ran crit rat, you would throw these out. It didn't have to hit anybody. And then you would dash them.
Ratatoskr strikes an enemy, dashes in the target direction,
While they were
dealing
out?
damage to.
And you would one shot them. you would literally fucking one shot somebody, and there's nothing they can fucking do about it. Zero play around it at all.
All enemies along the way.
It was
If
very
Ratatoskr
fun.
strikes an enemy god he has not
Especially
struck
when
with
you
Dart in the
dash
last
and crit,
10
you can crit
seconds,
again.
the
You can dash
cooldown
again
is
if you
actually
and
reset.
crit somebody else and
The
keep
second
going.
ability is called Flurry of Acorns. Ratatoskr shoots out a blast of 4 acorns that are projectiles forward in a cone
was the
that
same.
each do individual damage. The Sapphire Acorn changes Acorn Blast. Acorn Blast now becomes a shotgun
Oh,
blast.
this was
stick to
cracked. So
the
this
target.
was bugged day 1 on PTS. It did rank 4 damage at rank 1.
Stick to the target and deal damage.
So
on the
it was like
initial
little
hit
fucking
and
sticky
on the
bombs.
secondary explode.
Blow them up and you'd one shot somebody.
The
Level
Emerald
fucking 1.
Acorn also changes Acorn Blast. It will now heal for the number of targets you hit with this ability. The Topaz Acorn changes Dart. If you
This
dash
was
through
the
someone
best.
twice, it will now stun your target.
Oh, that was the
Opal
OG dart. That's right. That
Acorn
was the stun
also
dart. That was the
changes
stun dart. That was a different one.
Dart will now shoot lightning bolts to targets you pass by during the dash, but
No,
doesn't
no, this
kill
is
the
it. That's
enemy
right.
with
Okay, I
damage.
lied. I forgot
It
that
will
one's stunned. That
apply
was a
on
combo.
effects like crits, though.
This is the one. The other
Tier
one was the one you could
blue
dash multiple
acorn
times.
Now makes your Flurry of Acorns slow. The Tier 1 yellow acorn will now make your Flurry of Acorns
Bro, the fact that tier 2s had passives like that is mind blowing.
Ratatoskr charges briefly, then leaps from the ground to a branch above his head. He must then jump
This
to a
ult
new
was
branch
definitely
twice
one of the
more.
most OP
On the
ults
third
at the
branch,
time as well.
Ratatoskr chooses a landing location.
It was
where he
like
can
Thor's
strike
ult, but
down
you couldn't
doing
miss
damage.
because you had infinite
Cancel his
time.
ult while in the air at any
sure some of
point
you all still
causes
miss.
Ratatoskr to strike down on his last valid target location, dealing
Do they have a
damage. He
gameplay of
loves
the
to be
dash?
darting in and out of fights constantly. Here's a quick guide for you thinking on
See
your
that shit, bro?
pause and using
Oh
your
my
environment when playing
gosh.
the Sly Messenger.
Hold on, how much did he hit that guy for? I didn't
Pause
even see.
and using your environment. His main strength is speed and misdirection. He's a wily little
I
thing.
miss this
He
rat,
loves
bro.
to be
Fuck
darting
Kurt
in and out
Rat,
of
boring
fights
ass, bitch ass
constantly.
god.
Here's a
Throw out
quick
your
guide for
two,
you
dash
thinking on
in,
your
clap somebody's
pause
cheeks. He didn't even
and
hit him with the
using
whole
your
thing.
environment when playing the Sly Messenger. Activate Flurry of Acorns before using Dart to travel through an enemy god.
Yeah, there you
As
go.
the acorns from Flurry of Acorns return to you and
Oh,
pass through
I
the
have
target,
to have Smite, Ratatoskr, fuck.
Oh, just heal for half my health.
Yo, look at that. Listen to that mic.
Oh, just heal for.
Wait, this was oh, this was tank hybrid acorn.
40 to
Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta watch this again.
No, I'm just going from like 40 to.
Oh my god.
Wait, I didn't, why am I flurry that? I flurry it so fucking hard.
That's weird.
Look at how hard this two fucking hit.
No,
Did I slow this bitch down? Oops, wrong one. Why that should do 120 on the way out? What the fuck? That's at 100. Look at Baby Weekend. Yep. I was 13. When was this? This is 8 years ago. This wasn't even that long ago. This is, you don't realize this was when mics weren't good. This is when like the Tyler 1 mic was like the standard. I don't even think I was in college. Yeah, I was in. I had to been home from college for this.
That's insane.
So, as you're broken and all right now,
So that was healing acorn.
I think that heal is gonna.
here comes a second.
Do I have another one? Yeah, talk about bald. Yeah, this is my first. This is one of my first apartments. I remember this apartment. This is my fucking apartment where I woke up. My front door was wide open when it was 20 degrees outside because Sammy left the door open when she left. And my apartment was literally 40 degrees inside. I was freezing. I could see my breath when I woke up. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, I'm watching Old Rat. PTS Old Rat.
Dude, this is one of my favorite designs that they've ever made in the game.
This is probably the most fun like God release they ever had in the history of this game.
Literally 4 roles this god could play, and he was top tier in all 4.
Yeah, every acorn worked, every build worked, every roll worked.
Like current acorn is, I mean, current acorns are really not that balanced. There's like 2 really good ones and then 2 really ass ones.
I looked to, well, this is when the acorns like they were kind of shared. They weren't like, I don't know, they weren't like they are now. And the tier 2s all had buffs. The tier 2s all enhanced the acorns.
Yeah, yeah.
Which makes sense, like a lot of sense.
I want to kill somebody.
I
That's
forget.
not how they were. Like Old Rat's kit was also really fun. Not even just like the acorns, but the acorns actually changed how you play instead of just
Yeah, yep.
not tank rat.
Just looking at it, I forgot how his 2 was until I saw it the first time. His 2 was awesome. Like his AoE shit, like that was just fucking awesome.
He was like a combo character that didn't rely on like a CC combo like Scylla or Nox, which was sick. Like there's very few characters that aren't like actual CC or combo characters off of CC. Like
Yeah, it
Nox,
wasn't
Scylla,
like
Ullr.
it wasn't like hit your combo to damage. It was like you could combo and like fuck somebody up, and it would be awesome. Like the first clip I watched, it was when the jungle solo went to the solo lane together and fought together, and I fucking insta killed 2 people with the 2.
say it. I really think Smite peaked early. But, like, there was definitely some problems with the game. But the fun factor of the early portion of Smite was so awesome.
This was that was peak viewership numbers. It was peak like competitive numbers. You're not wrong. This is season 2.
The game is probably more balanced now than it was then.
Definitely.
It was probably more fun back then.
I think it was. I like just looking at this, even if this wasn't like OP, if it was balanced, this is fucking great. This shit was OP though.
Dash go on cooldown?
Because your dash didn't go on cooldown if you hit somebody.
No, I mean, I meant why did it go like go back? I'm pretty sure you hit dash and it
This is the stun dash.
Oh.
I think wait. Oh no, wait. Which one did I? Or is this sticky acorns?
Go back like 10 seconds.
No, this is enhanced 2. This is enhanced 2. This one was making the 2 better. Yeah. Well, did I? Oh, I did miss you, right? Yeah.
Fuck me.
I think this is the acorn that buffed the 2. Because the 2 looks beefy.
Oh. Wait, no, this is the 3 one, right?
Is it? I can't. It looks like the 2 is all fucking glowy, and I don't think it glows unless you leveled it up, right?
3, and then it exploded a little bit later, right?
Oh, the sticky bombs? Oh, it is the sticky bombs. Yeah, I just did it to her. Yeah, okay. So that was the 3. All of these were good. That's the thing. All of them were good. Like sticky fucking grenades as an ability. That shit was, dude. I remember playing this PTS all 3 fucking days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Playing it the second the god came out.
Look at this fucking wave over here.
The Emerald Acorn buffed your 3 to make you heal, and then you weren't like a heal character outside of that.
Yeah, that was, look at this. That was the first one I watched was Emeralds, and I guess I had watched it this clip because I one shot with them in lane.
Well, I've never had this problem before.
Wait, go back. Let's see this.
No, I'm just going from like 40.
Oh my god!
They got shredded and then they just instant up. I'll never forget this shit, bro. I just remember them all. Like that's supposed to be the boring acorn. That's the healing snoozer acorn, and it was that was fun. I don't know if I did one with the crit, because the crit one.
As the best release character they've ever had.
I don't know about best release. I think I said most fun because when we played him first down PTS, he was bugged. His 3 was doing rank 4 damage. I remember that specifically because I walked up to somebody at level 4 and one shot somebody and didn't know why, and that was why. The dash. This is the dash one, I think.
No! Yes!
Yeah.
Let me see.
Or is this the 2 one?
Is this the 2 or is this the dash?
Okay, we can
I gotta see myself dash.
That's gotta be the 2, right?
Is it?
There were so many on your 2.
Oh my god! Oh, no, that was that's the dash one.
Okay, we can.
Wait, it wasn't the dash one the one that crit though?
Did it crit on the outsides?
Okay.
I swear, yeah. The dash one allowed the outside to crit.
Yeah, the outsides.
This one was the 2 buff, I think. I think
Is
this
it?
was the 2 buff acorn. Yeah.
Only the tower.
Right? Or am I trolling?
I thought you could only dash multiple times if you had the dash one.
No. That was every. Okay. I'm nearly positive every dash reset no matter what.
Maybe. I know there's one acorn that made it so your dash stunned, and there was one acorn that made it so your dash crit and was bigger.
Transfer from Snipe. This is Snipe, bro.
Maybe that's the 4th one then.
Yeah, that is the 4th one. I already watched we watched the release.
Sponsors.
So then I'm pretty sure all of them reset your
Jagger
dash cooldown.
with
And that's what I really
I
like.
mean, here, let's do this.
I guess you could just check.
Yeah,
but
I did release God reveal.
Through your target.
Oh yeah.
Hit a
I guess,
point
yeah,
blank
that's a
acorn
pretty free way to do that.
Do individual damage.
Only 1 acorn reset? Okay, so maybe I am trolling.
Actually currently at dealing damage. Ratatoskr dashes in the target direction, dealing damage to all enemies along
he
the
just
route.
dashed twice.
If Ratatoskr strikes an enemy god he has not struck with dart in the last 10 seconds,
So yeah,
the cooldown.
The one made it wider and crit, and the wider made it so it was easier to get double dashes. The other one stunned them if you double dashed. So it was all the time as long as you hit a new person.
Yes, that's what it was.
So you're right. I think that acorn I had in that video was it was the 2 buff because my 2 fucking clapped them in the dash, and it wasn't the dash that was killing them. I forgot.
I just look back at this and then I see current rat. Oh, it's like, it's so just like meh.
And,
Are you a fan of current rat?
No.
Like,
I
do you
think
find him
no,
fun?
no. I think he's boring. I don't like playing him at all. There's a lot of gods like that for me though. Like the person who donated you money to play Zeus every game came over, and I was like, yeah, I would only do like a lot more money and only be a handful of gods that I think are fun. I was going through looking at all the gods that I think are enjoyable. Because this shit is, I don't know. Smite's fun, but like it was better. Oh shoot, patch notes are up.
Well, let's kick it off with the Immortal Honor event, something y'all should all be familiar with by now. It's been going all year, and it's going to keep going throughout Smite's Year 11. For those who don't know, I'm going to run it by you one more time. Immortal Honor is a
Alright, so I know one
2
of the
skins
changes-
per update event that's running all
getting
year.
what you
And
want.
don't worry, all
Some
of
of
the
them look
skins are
dope.
cross-gen. So
I'll
if you
tell you
got to
that.
play a little Smite 2 recently, then you know
Oh, I
what I'm
keep
talking
looking at
about.
your
Those
name,
skins are
not
going to
Smite.
be
That's
available
why it's not
as the
changing.
game continues to push towards release, as those gods become available in
How
the
many
game.
skins do you think we're getting
And you know
today?
You're already going to have skins for them. So
Oh,
there's 3
never
ways
mind.
to get skins
Already
from
did
this event, from the
skins.
Immortal Honor event,
Two,
and it's
I'm
by the
hoping.
one at a time. If you're like,
Two
hey, I
on
like that
two.
one, that's the only real one for me, that's my main, buy that one, no worries. If you're like, ooh, this whole chapter's popping off, like this second chapter's really got the skins for me, buy the whole
Bro, they
chapter.
could so
Or
easily
if you're
just
like,
flash the skins up, give
24
like a
skins for Smite 1, 24
2-sentence
skins for
announcement.
Smite 2, 48 skins
It doesn't
total.
sell.
I'm just gonna buy them all. They're gonna keep releasing bangers all
Bro,
year.
no
You can
way
do that as
the
well. So, but you've heard me say that
600
all
people
before. I know
watching
y'all
the
already
game,
know. Y'all be remembering.
900 people watching
So
the
how
game.
about we just look at what the skins are for this patch
Are gonna buy it 'cause
instead,
of that, right?
starting with
'Cause they're getting showed
Wraith
on
Rider Guan Yu.
Ooh, we're
go.
really starting off strong with that name.
Oh, Guan Yu.
Oh,
yeah.
yep, totally right.
Ooh.
Love this one. I love this like spectral theme, right? We come back to it every so
Give you
often, but it
Artemis?
kind of makes sense with Guan, right? You know, kind of
It
like
does.
horseman of the apocalypse
yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
As well with his weapon as well, you always have these really cool trails and these
Ooh.
glows.
This
Yeah.
skin
I
color
agree with
combo
that.
must make them
Oh my
so
God.
much money
For the-
because I swear they
the
have
blue
2 or 3 on
flames
every god
kind
with
of
the
thing,
same
like,
colors.
as you mentioned earlier, you know, the
They love it.
spectral style. I just love this kind of color palette in general.
Also, maybe
Yeah,
Like,
I
this is a
do
good
be loving
skin,
some edgy skins.
but I don't
And
know if,
Guan,
like,
Guan has a
Smite
couple,
just
but
has so
this
many
one
good
feels
skins
like it
that
hits
to
a
me,
whole
this
new
skin is just
vibe.
whatever.
It does, and I'm
Yeah,
always
they're
a fan
all
of,
they're just like
of the
washed.
different
It's all
pets
been
in these
done
as
or
well.
something similar's been
That's
done. It's
gonna
hard
be
for
a
them
big
to one up
topic for this
themselves
update,
nowadays. I
but,
feel
Oh,
like.
you'll see.
Specifically for
Yeah.
Guan Yu, I just love seeing the variety of horse. You know, my boy's got got the horse.
Ooh. Dude,
You're also at a
he's got
point where
oh,
you have to
where's his
decide
face
to
at?
use a skin out of like
You
20
made
skins on
it
every
at the
god,
right
and are you
time.
really gonna choose this over
I
something
think
you already
J-Mac
have?
was saying it earlier. Like,
That's what you have to
Guan
ask with
really did be
every
hiding
single
his face
skin.
in
Shoulders.
Yeah.
There it is.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want to be known.
No,
This is a
He wants
Guan
to be
unicorn.
known, but not to be visually known.
He's
Yeah.
a spooky little ghost.
his actions.
Yo, this is so
Cool.
big.
It's like turned down toes.
Oh
like
yeah,
talons, kind of.
dude, this armor is sick.
It is very sick.
It's gotta be like so uncomfortable to wear shoes like that, though.
What do you
Like,
mean?
where does your
For his
where
enemies,
do your
yeah.
other 2 toes go?
Nah, you got the grip.
I'm more
it
worried
works
about his
out.
horse, actually. Yeah.
What are you?
I can't get
All
over this,
seasons.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
Let's
flash
check
me
this one
the
out again.
skin and let's
Hopefully
go.
I can get in the next alpha
Oh.
weekend. Cause I have some revenge on
Yep,
this
that one's
Loki
sick.
It's got like still got the
Smiley face.
inquisitive like yeah.
Bunto! Thanks for the 12 months, brother.
Yeah, no,
Just need a
you know, no
chin.
beard or anything like that. It's
He's
just
adjusting the
Before
bottom
we
of the
cut to
clothes.
the
is
next
what it
skin,
is.
we gotta see what
You
the
got like that.
1,
this
2,
is real
3,
nice.
4
Oh,
looks like.
does he even use
Yeah,
this?
the color
It's just
change.
hanging out
Well, that's
there.
the backup.
Yep.
If he ever loses
Yeah.
the big one,
Gotta see that
Ever
first.
loses the Guan Dao, he's got the sword on lockdown.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, let's see those abilities.
Let's-
though.
yeah, let's see what he
This
looks
one's
like.
I wonder if
nice.
this is
As
a
far as I
higher
remember,
up
we've got
thing,
some pretty
or
cool
if they
effects for
like
this one, and
they
of course,
choose to do it.
a
Like, you know,
banger
who
voice
tells them
pack
like you
for
need to go
sure.
over every
Even
skin,
the
you need
footstep
to
trail,
go through the
super cool.
colors.
Ooh.
It's a targeter.
Faces.
That's
Okay.
spooky.
We'll target her. Cooler effects. All right, that's sick.
Like outlines it as a.
Oh, and the sounds.
Anonymous
It's like
bot.
it's like a
Steam
hiss
only.
almost.
Yeah.
Smite 2 Ultimate
Dude,
Founders.
that's
I
so
like the
cool.
colors, don't get me wrong.
Swift as the
Yeah, these colors are fun.
There will be no
Trying to turn fast to be able
Ooh.
to see the effects.
Right.
Oh, I
See the shadows.
didn't set the bots to. They'll be all right. Casualties.
They don't look all right.
Can we talk about this voice
Anonymous,
though?
thank you for
He's
using
got
my
this, like deep. I don't even know what the like right word is. It's kind of like.
Look at the passive. Look at the passive effect.
Oh my
Ooh,
god, dude, the
souls.
spirit's coming out and everything. Okay, let's see that all.
It's the horse.
Oh my god. Well, gotta get the penta.
I was about to say, finish it off.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Might as well throw another.
2.
Yeah, this skin's awesome.
It is super awesome. I agree. I love the trail of
Is
fire.
this a
behind the
recolor?
horse.
I mean,
Absolutely.
everything. I
incredible.
feel like it's a
Horrifying
recolor these
to
days.
watch gallop at you down lane.
Dude,
So,
I can't get over those sounds. Those sounds are so cool.
the people who work on the sounds in this game are incredible. But obviously, like I said earlier, it's going to be in Smite 2 as well. So let's look at that Smite 2 render to see what that looks like.
Oh, with the
A
horse?
horse.
Shines, yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow. Dude, our team is killing it with these renders.
Absolutely beautiful. So, like I said,
Is
there's
this
two
part
skins
of
with
like
every
the
update,
cross
so that was
gen,
one of
or
them.
is this like a
The
skin you have to
second one
buy
is
and then you have it in
Street
both?
King Sun Wukong.
Do you know?
Oh, this theme is
I
great.
don't know if it's just like every skin that they announce is in
My
that
boy.
cross-gen
I love this
pass.
one.
If it's
This
gonna
voice
be
pack is awesome. He has a
cross-platform,
lot
or
of like
if it's like,
Y2K-esque
choose kind of
references.
which
Yeah,
He
that's what I
does a
was
little
wondering.
Booyah,
Put in it.
gets a little.
Because
Because I'm pretty sure they said all skins that
in
come out
there.
are
Yeah,
Smite
no,
2
this is a
skins
very
this year.
funny voice pack.
So it must be.
This skin
Yeah,
has got
you're
a lot
right.
of personality. The effects are really fun. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I gotta see this in
He's
game.
popular apparently. Like people got to take
He's the
pictures of him.
boy.
Yeah.
I fucking
Whenever he
hate
shows
Sun
up on the
Wukong.
street, like that's the
I
street to
hate
be
Sun
on.
Wukong.
So yeah, another super cool skin. Another one of the ones available.
It's like
in this-
Odyssey with
alright,
cross-gen
there
Oh,
it
he
is.
just
Immortal
looks
Honor, okay.
fresh.
He does look fresh.
Dude, nice kicks.
I love
Nice
the
shades.
I say I love the vest.
Oh, the vest is nice too.
I want that vest.
It feels very
They should show
Marty
the skins in
McFly
Smite too.
almost.
Yeah.
It does
I'm
kind
gonna
of
get on it. We need this
Yeah,
vest for Danny
like
for the next
it being
patch notes.
used in Smite 2.
Agreed. I kind of want the drip. This would be a good
Yeah,
cosplay.
I don't
'Cause,
even want
like,
to.
This is a good like, casual
wait, this
cosplay
way
yeah,
too,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Like you could just do the
Smite 2 then,
outfit like without having to do the full fursuit if you don't want to.
I
But got the bandana and
guess,
everything.
but
I absolutely love it. And those
They didn't
quick
say
ones.
when
Those
the
are
gods
so
would
good.
come. You know what I mean?
Alright, let's-
Like
let's check
just
out that
the
Smite 2
skins
right
would be on
Yeah.
those
That's
gods.
true.
Dude.
Eventually,
Look at
gods
this.
will come out.
Textures, such a big upgrade. In
Bro,
Yeah,
this
Solo's
engine.
gonna be
it really
so
does
boring.
look that much
Odin,
better, right? Like you can
Wukong,
see the
Guan,
visual upgrade of
Shock.
like the fur quality. Like
Bologna.
that really does feel like
Yeah, I mean, it depends on in
an
Smite 2 if they
animal, you know
fuck with
what I mean?
hybrid and make it so you
It
can run
just
other shit or not.
gives it that extra. oomph.
Yeah, I guess.
It really does. And,
It'd be
and
dope
again,
if it turned into like a
that's the
brawl
big pull of
lane,
this whole thing
like a
is where it
duo
was like,
warriors
this
lane, and then
visual
a fucking
update,
hunter
there's all the
solo
stuff we
farm
can do
lane.
with it. It's just the new engine and how much hard work they're putting into it. It's always fun to get little glimpses into it.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, that'll do it for the Immortal Honor event. But we do
Actually,
have
the blue buff over
one more
there,
thing to
giving
talk about in the
protections.
chess or in the skin
Probably
world.
helps
We're doing a
having
chest. We got a
less tanks
prismatic
over-
chest
or
coming
like,
up with this next
squishier
update.
characters over there.
Ooh.
And this
Good,
skin's really
yeah.
cool looking. This one, get an eyeful of this. We have the Prismatic Gust Kukulkan. And that's just
Wow.
that's pretty card art.
Does that not look like
This card
Tiamat?
art
This character
really
sucks
sells
so
that,
much.
that like
I hate
sense of
this
scale.
character.
Yeah.
So
Kukulkan?
well. With the deer in the foreground too, like
Sucks
it
as
kind
in
of
you don't wanna
it, like
play him?
fades away when you're looking at Kukulkan,
Yeah,
but like
he's
when you look at
boring,
the whole
sucks.
picture of the,
I
like composition
mean,
here,
Like,
it just
I like blink
Yeah,
ulting
this is like-
people
this is a
out of the
poster,
jungle with
right?
him, so I don't know
I
what
could
you're
put
talking
this on
about.
my wall.
That's true. This is wall.
I feel like I'm
Okay,
walking
hit
to
my
an
ult off
open world
CC.
raid boss with that one. Like I'm just casually strolling through the field, and all of a sudden this just pops down from the heavens. Like I gotta fight this.
Or like you're in a level and like all of a sudden like this big
Kukulkan's
thing shows up
tier
in the
5 is
background,
bad.
and you're like, oh, that's
I
where
think it's a
have to
terrible
go to
skin.
fight.
Three more
I gotta get
skins.
there.
Yeah. That boss. you can fight
What do we have so far?
Fight
They
or
showed
lose.
4.
Fight the mighty
Under.
serpent
I'm going
dragon. You're
under.
like, okay, this can't be that
I'm
bad.
hoping.
The mighty serpent dragon they tell you to fight.
Yeah, 1/100th of its size.
Oh wait, maybe not. If
Oh,
they're showing this one in
dude, the
game still, they
colors
might
on
have
this
like 4 to
kid.
show not in game.
Well, they said prismatic. They weren't lying.
Wait, this skin
They were
looks...
not. Man,
It's
that is
also
so
like
pretty.
really
Wait,
bright.
like a
Like
dog?
it's lit up almost.
I hate this skin.
Yeah,
This
it
skin
looks.
sucks.
It
I
looks
can-
like
I
it kind of looks like
completely
my
agree.
German
It's just-
Shepherd if you give him wings.
Yeah, the prismatic effect is such a cool one, and to see it brought into a character like this, I think deserves a glance in game. So
Yeah.
let's dive in and look at that.
Oh, dude, it looks. The lighting on this is just so incredible.
It is. I'll take a bow.
He's so bright.
Oh, they're humble.
How many Kukulkan skins are there in
I
the
just
game
love
right
the
now? By the
prismatic
way,
effect in general, but like
Shiny.
it's one of those things where you could just throw it on something, but obviously the
Yo,
work of like where does it apply?
can
best
we
to
just
a
talk
skin,
about how the
it's
card,
just
what the card art looks
incredible to
like
see
compared to
done like
this in the
Yeah,
fucking
that's what I'm
game?
saying.
Oh.
Yeah, the clouds are really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the two as well.
That looked that bad.
Tornado.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a nice tornado.
The card art team kind of fucks them up sometimes. It makes it look so
Dude,
good, and they just can't
that might
keep
be
up.
one of the prettiest tornadoes, if not
They
the
gotta,
prettiest
they
tornado
gotta
in
get a
Smite.
worse card art.
Now we got
Oh yeah, classic.
Yep.
Again, just that prismatic color changing thing really
It does
brings
kind
it
of look
all.
like recolored
It's a
cuckoo
rainbow.
puffs.
Yeah,
All right, absolutely love it.
It
Again,
might
this is
be,
gonna
to be
available in
honest.
the prismatic chest
Might actually
with
be.
update 11.5. That's next Tuesday. That's right around.
Isn't the
the
map
corner.
different in the Bastet
So
video?
let's see the Smite 2.
What?
It's gonna be
Yeah.
the Smite 2. We gotta see the Smite 2.
Oh, the lighting looks even better.
It does.
Imagine these
Dude.
abilities going down like a dock.
Oh my
Or
god.
door.
That might be one of the
Wide angle
worst
as well, yeah.
Smite 1 to Smite
Dude,
2s.
I
to
can't
be
wait to
honest.
see the
like,
effects, what they do
truly,
with
it looks the
that
same.
in Smite 2. That's gonna be
No,
next
it
level.
is
It's
there.
going to be
I don't
incredibly
think
next
it
level.
might be. I think
Smite
it is.
2.
I cannot think of a
All right.
single skin that looks.
Because usually you're like, damn,
that's
this
the
looks
first little
pretty
skin we're
like
talking
legit.
about.
This
We're gonna
looks
take a break. Got some other things to talk about.
It's a
Plenty more in
fucking
this update to go
dog.
over. But let's
It's a
hop into some
fucking
news
dog
first. Let's just do
standing
this.
up,
Is just
bro.
me
I'm
talking.
sorry.
And sorry, my voice sounds like a gravel road. I know. Allergies are beating me to death. So first up, I know there's a much cooler video than what I'm about to say that already said this, but I'm going to say it live and in person. Thank y'all for playing Smite 2 this last weekend. That was so cool. Seeing people be able to finally get into this game, this this project of love that everybody around here has been working on for so long, so hard. Like seeing it go from, and I think I tweeted this, but like from a whiteboard idea, from like a what if, you know, like how would we do it? What would this even mean? And watching it grow gradually from that stage to letting people in the doors finally at last in mass and try it out and give their candid feedback. It was absolutely incredible. It was breathtaking. And there are so many people around here that have loved working on this, but are reinvigorated beyond the passion they already had by seeing people come in and say, y'all are doing the right thing, we're just going in the right direction. It was an alpha, and we got so much good feedback. You know, like people are already poring over the hundreds and hundreds of filled out surveys and tweets and Reddit posts. Like if y'all were giving us feedback on, hey, this felt amazing, or hey, this didn't feel great, so maybe we're pouring over all of that so that the next time we open the doors,
video, it's
hopefully
like a fall map and the leaves are brown.
Only better, strictly better.
Wait, why would they be doing fall now though?
Absolutely, thank you to everybody for getting in and playing.
You may be right, but that'd be.
We look forward to seeing you next time.
That'd be
I'm
weird.
not gonna keep, I could go forever,
Weird
but there's
timing.
a cool video that has a bunch of people saying thank you. That's cooler than me saying it. So we'll move on. Next up, I just wanted to shout out, I don't know if y'all have seen, but we got some friends over at Starforge. We worked with them a little bit, and we got this really cool Smite Starforge PC thing going. So if y'all are looking to, you know, maybe upgrade your rig a little bit, it's finally time. You got to get ready for Smite 2, and you're ready to commit to that new rig. Or maybe you just want to look at a case. Maybe you just want to, you know, beautify what you've already got.
Like they actually build quality shit. I don't know the prices
because this thing is so cool.
Like I'm saying go to Zydax all day, but I do know
ever since we first saw this,
they got called out by a lot of the big YouTubers that do reviews, and they fix everything. They had them come in and tell them how to fix like.
And I highly recommend it because the PC is beautiful, both on the inside and outside.
It's like the Soda Pop and OTK guys bought them out from some company that went under for being shit.
Really cool stuff. So moving forward, we got a little bit of esports news to go over. The Creator Cup going strong. It's been a beautiful thing to watch happen. And now we're working towards group stages. So as you can see here on the screen,
because all their stock, all the shit they had, like all their parts and stuff were still there. They were just sitting in a warehouse. They just bought it all up.
Watching these teams play it off as we kind of work towards the end of what has been a very, very enjoyable event. So again, shout out to the Content Creator Cup. It's been really fun to watch, and I'm excited to see group stages go live quite shortly.
Yeah, especially when you're 20 of the biggest content creators in the world, and you can just promote
so we're going to move on to letting other people who know cool stuff about what's changing this patch talk. And we're going to get into it with game mode balance, I guess. So there's you know, quite a few things changing. We got a lot of little game mode switcheroonies. But let's start with ranked. Ranked is getting a soft reset.
Yep.
2500 with an i5.
Getting on the odd patches.
That doesn't sound right.
Soft reset. So coming this patch, Conquest, Duel, Joust, all soft reset.
Soft reset.
Rock and roll.
Back to racing, back to that Grandmaster. If you're in Grandmaster already,
wait
you get
to
reset
play
back down to Diamond 1 and
a bunch of raid
race
games
back up to the top
against
again.
the same people.
Sounds good. Watch people get back on that grind. Cool. Short and sweet for the first one, but now we're moving into another kind of familiar update. Beat a regular cycle. Duel. We've been switching around.
I watched that Adapting Lane the other day. He's 3K and he's playing with 1,500 players.
We have a new list this time.
Dude, so this list is definitely a little bit more interesting than the past couple. The past few were going to be, you know, a little bit more thematic, a little bit more, you know, for fun. But we are returning back to
if you're gonna buy a computer and you want it priced
appropriately,
definitely saw a lot of the feedback surrounding the more like thematic ones, and that
if
you know, it was
they
interesting
turn
for a
into
little
shit,
bit.
I wouldn't work with them anymore. I've been working with them for 5 years for a reason.
Did not make sense
and
to
I was
play
working with them before they were like very well known.
But we definitely saw the feedback that you guys wanted a bit more of a competitive list. So what we did for this list is, you can see a lot of gods unbanned here. We've gone back and we you know, talked with a lot of content creators. We interviewed them and polled them for what they thought should be banned, and then we used that plus a bunch of data to influence our next list, which you will see coming up next is the new banned gods.
All right.
And shocker, shocked, surprised anyone? Probably not. A lot of very strong characters that are typical dual gods currently banned, and then we have a couple ones that are not getting unbanned in the next patch. They were also good from last time.
I mean, I don't even know. I feel like you'd have to ask the dudes who play Duel 24/7 what they really want. Because some of them said this was hype, but I never got like updates.
Sticking around,
you know, like what they still
cool,
think.
So they just haven't left the band.
A little bit at least. And I guess you're right.
Well, cool. Yeah, awesome to see you continue to iterate through that, and all the conversations about like how can we continue to.
OG ban really deserve. They just cycling gods for Duel to make it more interesting.
Yeah. Last touch on the Duel thing. I do want to mention that we are still evaluating, you know, how much people are liking this. So if you guys do have feedback on any future ban lists that you want, let us know. If you like the ban list at all, or if you don't want the ban list, we are still kind of in that process of, you know, how much are we actually.
I have a lot for you guys.
We are finally at a point where we feel like
extra loud for me.
evaluate the system as a whole because we've had a lot of different kinds of ban lists at this point. You know, some competitive, some more fun, and we want to make a further decision on that in the future in terms of what kind of list that you want. So please let us know. And yeah, thank you so much for enjoying Duel thus far.
I mean, I've said it a billion times. Everybody always says it. Your feedback is pivotal to us. Like, we're making the game for y'all. And if y'all don't like it, you need to tell us so we can make you like it more. It's just a mutual thing. We're always working on it. We're always looking out. So yeah, keep up the feedback. Y'all are awesome. Let's keep going. So next up, I feel like the header kind of says a lot here. So I'm gonna read the header and then let you kind of get into it. /refreshed.
Right.
Yeah.
Please.
So throwback to a couple months ago, if you can recall that far.
I can't.
So
sorry.
far away.
Not me.
Slash was a 4v4 mode for a short period of time, and we learned a lot of lessons from that period of time. So what we've got here are a couple changes, some influenced by the 4v4 test, some not. Slash is still staying 5v5 to be completely clear. That's not changing. We're just making updates to the mode, having taken a lot of information and inspiration from ideas that came from that period. So let's get into what they are.
Okay.
First up on the docket, we did change the gold spooling going into the 4v4 mode, and we noticed that people kind of like that change. So what we're doing is we're kind of meeting halfway here. Still, again, 5v5 mode, but the gold spooling is going up from 8 per second to 9 per second.
Rock and roll.
I think players, when because briefly we made, I think, 10 gold per second.
Hopefully that's
that
more fun
2-week
for you
period.
guys to build your
And
tank
when we
items.
changed it back, people really noticed when we changed it back. So we're just meeting them in the middle, and hopefully they'll like it. And when there's 5 players around, there's more people sharing the farm. So bringing up the spooling is what gives you your gold.
Yeah,
I love
that
rope.
makes sense. So next up, it looks like Apophis might be a little enhanced at some point.
Yeah, so there was kind of a duality of Slash experiences, you might say, where some people were having Slash games that were ending really, really quickly, and some were having games that were going way too long, and there was kind of, they averaged out, of course, but there were no, like, real, true, significant numbers of those, like, normal games that are, like, 20 minutes long, what you'd expect.
Yeah, the expectation.
So what we want to do is we want to start not like adding a hard cutoff, right? But we're trying to say at this point in the game, which is 20 minutes, which is when Enhanced Apophis spawns, that's when the game should kind of be getting towards their close. We want to start encouraging people to really go for that end at that point. So what we're doing here is now that Apophis enhances at 20 minutes, when you kill Enhanced Apophis, it's more important than ever to get that because now it's going to spawn 2 Juggernauts in both your lanes. So that is going to be a significant thing to push with in terms of actually breaking into those spaces.
I'd play that at 3 a.m. for fun.
The winning team. So you want to
I
make
don't play
sure
this
you
at
really
3
do
a.m. for
contest
fun.
that Apophis once it gets enhanced because that's going to be a very, very important objective.
That's a major objective right there.
Absolutely.
Can I make a call to action with this now?
Yeah, absolutely.
First person
Oh,
to
Siege.
send me
Siege, that was the game mode. That was a fun game
clip
mode.
went out of getting 6
Siege?
Juggernauts on the
Oh,
map.
whatever
at
the 44
once.
was.
I'm
That shit
looking
was
for
fun.
it because you can already get 4. Now you can get up to 2 more.
What up, Prehistoricals?
6 at a time? That's going to be a lot.
Juggernaut power play. Okay.
And if you're not ending the game with that, then I don't know what to say.
I don't know how to
Best
help with
streamer
that.
there is that far weak wiggle.
Yeah,
Maybe I have
Barty.
to try again. All right, so beyond Apophis.
Yeah, Siege. That
portals.
was what
Now,
I
the Portals
enjoyed.
are already kind of a thing with the Juggernauts, but
Yes.
portals are getting something new, it seems.
So in general, what we have felt is that
Bro,
it's been a little bit slow.
how
to
many
get out of
people
base,
that
a little bit
play
slow to
these
get
game
back
modes
into the
watch
fight.
the
And
patch
so
notes?
Previously, at least in last patch, we did a kind of relatively.
They should do a
along the same
separate,
vein, changing
like,
assault, where we gave a
paper
little extra
notes
out-of-base movement
only.
Speed. We kind of wanted to use that same mentality. If we want to get
On,
you back
like,
into the fight sooner, we want to
Facebook.
get you playing the game
For
more.
these
Yeah,
game
the fun
modes.
part,
Yeah, the
right?
fun part.
So we have added a portal. This portal is in the center of your base. You know how we have the portal on the left, portal on the right, and then kind of the space in the center. That center space is what's going to send you a little
Your
bit further
nightly
into your
slash?
jungle.
Yeah, but I don't care about your
There's the,
shit queues.
space for the Apophis Guardian. You got the blues, and then you have the speed. Where this puts you is kind of in the middle of all those things in that
Why
like
not
little
Facebook?
way.
Okay.
So you kind of have the option to go that way, or if you want to, take a left to your blue, take a right to your blue. Any of those options.
And defend
you
one
can
of
do.
your phoenixes as well.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. If you want to go into the sieging a bit more, it also presents some more interesting sieging.
Yeah, much more dynamic when players are coming from different angles rather than just sitting under your tower or your phoenix and waiting for them to push into you.
Yeah.
You can kind of go around and gank them as
Like-
well when
They
they're
get that
sieging.
pincer maneuver. Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Really fun.
And to be clear, it's only a one-way portal. It's only out of base.
Yeah, should.
Yeah, no turnaround and going back. Once you're out, you're out.
Yes.
So.
And then to kind of compensate for this, because one thing that we did notice is that because you're getting such a significant head start out of your base, we're just taking down the out of base movement speed duration, not the actual amount, just the duration a little bit, because we don't want you to be running completely through the lanes, right? just to the lanes, essentially. So that's why that's getting adjusted.
Yeah, what we found was if you teleported into the jungle,
just
like,
realized,
far ahead, and if you still had
why
that
the
same amount of movement speed, you'd be
is
running.
her
into the
headset
enemy
extended
jungle
out
with that
so
movement
far?
speed still. So we just had to reduce it.
I was sitting there thinking, like, maybe she, like, it has to fit, but then I look at J-Max and Rose, and theirs is not extended at all.
Yeah,
Why
I
the
was gonna
fuck
say,
is
right
it
back up
extended
that
all the way
action,
up?
being able to fight some more. So last but not least, looks like buff orb. Just little
Bro,
bit
my
of
head would
stuff.
look
This is
so
just a small quality
fucking
of life
fat
thing.
if I did
know
that.
that our Conquest players know that the buffs being on the ground for a very long time is so
They all have the same
so
headset,
nice
I
to have
think.
on, that like super close time limit to be able to pick them up. So let's
Maybe
say you have a
not.
teammate
Oh
that's
no, they
going
are
and
different
clearing out the jungle
headsets.
for you.
You're right.
Usually
They did
don't
give her
have
the
that
Mad
much time to
Cats.
go back
You're
and get
right.
it.
They
So
are all.
having
Hers is different from
linger
theirs.
on the ground a little bit longer is going to be really nice because you don't have to rush to get back
You don't
there.
have to skip a lane. You can,
Yeah.
all right, I can clear
Exactly.
minions.
You're not,
things.
oh crap, my teammate just cleared blue. You're like, okay, they cleared blue, I'll go get it after this wave.
And what feels really good is combining these two updates as well. If you see a buff dropped and you need to go back and buy an item, just buy an item, teleport into the jungle, pick up your buff, and go back to lane.
Boom. Easy as that. Well, cool. So that'll do it for Slash. But next
Apex,
this one,
thank you for the 13.
This one feels kind of like big news right here. I don't know. This one's pretty cool.
I wish
Here's a
they
name
had
y'all
the
might not
fun
have heard
game
in a
modes
while.
permanently
Odin's
rather than
Onslaught.
rotating them nodes with fun
Seems
modes
like
that
it's coming
TM
back.
voice.
So dive in. Why?
One of the fun
what's
game
bringing
modes.
Odin
Oh,
Onslaught
this?
back to us?
Yeah, so
Wait, they
we've
brought
been
this
exploring
back?
a couple of these modes that
so
have
many
been
better
previous
modes they could've brought
mainstays for some
Okay.
duration of time, and Odin's Onslaught was a more
This
recent one
game
that,
mode was
people
so
had a lot of
fucking
enjoyment
bad
out
when it
of.
was out. So if they didn't change it,
One of
it's
the
a
biggest
waste of
reasons
time.
that we had to leave this behind previously was we did our hot update.
pretty sure they
that was
changed a
really
good amount of
exciting,
things.
but we just did not.
My
have
games,
the,
when I
the
did this, it never
technology
went to the
do
end game. Like we
updated
never, like, it was never like a
We've
crazy
got the
fight in
technology,
the
we've
end.
got
Like
the
it was a
power
waste of time.
now. So all of that has been updated and
really
ready to
just
go, and so
farming.
we're bringing it back.
That's right.
And I'm
But, like,
so excited. This mode is so much
Surely
fun.
Medusa's
Nice. Well,
Medusa's
I mean, I guess
deathmatch,
to
or
get
whatever
into
it
it,
was
for those of
called,
you who
like,
don't
that
remember,
was-
Odin's
Oh, yeah.
Onslaught
I mean, there
3D
were a
is
lot
the
of cool
2v2,
ones.
v2,
There's a lot
v2,
better
v2.
ones.
It's a lot of twos.
Even
It's
the
just it's the
PvE
team
ones, like the
fight. Your
dungeon
first
ones
to
I thought
earn.
were fun.
what,
Yeah,
is
the
it, 40,000
Arachne
gold?
like boss
Yeah,
wave
so
one or
it's just
whatever.
this
Like
huge
that
jungle
was pretty
map
dope.
focused around a big cool tree, and you're just duking
This
it out.
might be
You're,
my
you
least
know, it's
favorite. I'm not
fighting, it's
trolling.
farming, it's who
I had
can be
no
the
fun on
first to
this
get to
one.
that.
I
gold,
liked the
checkpoint win game.
3v3v3v3
It was
one or
really,
whatever
really
it was,
fun.
where like
And there have been some changes to it.
like
We're
the
not- it
map
seems
would
like we're not
close
just
in, I
bringing
think,
it
on
back as
itself.
is. It seems like y'all have.
Remember,
y'all
you know what I'm
dove
talking
in,
about?
we're
That's the
like,
Medusa's deathmatch.
Oh, then that was one of my
We've got a
favorites.
bunch
Yeah.
of changes
That one-
here,
that
but
one was
first
my
I do.
favorite.
That was
kinda
one where
do a
DM
quick
Brandon
refresher
yelled
on,
at the
like, what
Ganesh
this
for not
game
having
actually
kills.
is, what the phases look like.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
That's like a
pretty
top five
just
Smite
run through this real fast.
Yeah.
So first thing that happens
like, full
is you
fucking
roll up
damage, you're not
and
getting
you
a
want to do a couple
single
jungle games, but then you go into the Norns. The Norns are the first big objective that show up periodically around the map. You'll probably find someone around that point, but there are several of them, and then when they all die, and as you'll see here, we've got some beautiful footage provided by yours truly. Don't watch
It's
too
the same
closely. I
map.
drop a hot veto in this game, but that's totally fine. It's worth it for the illustration. The Norns will spawn, and they are the Oracle harpy looking things.
Okay.
So when you kill them,
I
you
didn't
get a
think the
teleporter to
2v2
go
was
into the
fun
center of the map.
because
There's
like
some farm
you
there.
never
Once they all
got
die,
to kill the boss
Nidhogg
at the end.
spawns.
It
He's
just
like
game
kind of
ended
the big
first.
boss
Yeah,
man.
the big boss.
That cycle will happen 3 times where you kill the Norns, kill Nidhogg, and once that is complete, then you also have scales that drop every time that you defeat Nidhogg. It's
This
kind of
is
like
the
a
same.
capture the flag moment.
I remember that.
Where you can take it back to
This is
certain
the exact
shops
same so
on the
far.
map. And that gives you a bunch of gold. And again,
Yeah,
your
I don't
biggest
know,
goal
it
is to just
doesn't
get a lot
look
of
like
money,
they've
so you're going to
changed
want to be
anything
farming.
yet.
Yeah.
And
Same
here you can
map.
see we've also adjusted the delivery amounts that you get in terms of delivering the scales and the skull.
So they changed the
and then
deliveries.
you go through that cycle a couple of times. After the
Yeah.
scale's delivered, the Norns respawn, Nidhogg comes back, etc., etc.
Ayo, it's been a while.
Finally, after you do that,
What's
3
up,
times,
Sergeant? It was 25. How you
you will
been?
go into the center of the map one more time to fight Nidhogg. Again, one more time. And then he'll drop his skull, because you finally killed him. You
Yeah,
did it.
you
He's
took him
done.
out.
And that's going to provide you with the most gold on the map in terms of what's going to push you really over the edge to that 40k. So it's going to be very chaotic, very fun, and lots of gold.
I literally
to be
only
earned
killed that
throughout
dude
the map.
one time when I played this, and I
So
played this
that's
for like 2
basically
days
just a
straight
summary of
just
what
to see.
was
To be
there
honest, I don't
before.
even know what he
Let's
looks
talk
like.
about the new stuff now.
All right. Yeah, I mean, let's
Have I
dive
seen
right
him
into it. So
before?
there's all
I
kinds of
literally cannot
updates.
think
I
of
guess
what he
we'll
looks
dive in
like.
with
Why do you think they
Spotlight.
won't do
yeah,
Smite
Smite
cart
spawning has changed
again.
a little bit.
Yeah, so one of the biggest
Surely
complaints
just- they
from
just
the
don't have,
past
like, the
round of
stuffer
Odin's
anymore.
Onslaught
Like,
gameplay
they,
was that you would often not really
whoever was
spawn
on it at
that
the
close to your
time
teammate
had
and
it.
spawn across
thought it
the
was
map and spawn
clumsy.
apart from objectives, so the rules are just kind of
was it?
updated
That's what I
now
thought.
to be
I mean,
a little bit more
I look back to that and I don't
robust.
think
It's now
people
just
realize
better
how
at checking
like
where your
awesome that
ally
was
is,
to
trying
have
put
in
you
this
closer to
game.
your allies and being more
How did they even
conscientious
do
of
it?
where enemies
did it
are as
was
well
crazy in
if
the
they're in
first place.
combat.
Yeah.
So really, the
It
system
doesn't-
is trying to keep
like, they
you
brought this
away
exactly back
from
as the
spawning in
same.
the
They
midst
could
of
do that with
combat,
Smite
and it's
cards.
That's what
trying
I
to get you
would
closer to your
think.
teammate. That's kind of the TLDR. of the updates there without getting into too many specifics about.
Because like
the actual
Fortnite
ins
just
and outs
made
of the
that
system.
racing, like they have the
crazy
racing shit in
More
Fortnite
cool,
now.
always a
Maybe,
fan
I don't know if it's in the
of Fight
creative or
Nights
whatever,
too,
but I see clips of it all the time.
So
So
the
like
assist
people
system
like
is
their
also
racing
super
games in their main games.
Yes,
Yeah.
another big discussion point around Odin's
Mario
Onslaught
Kart
was that
top
kills
5 game
just
all
weren't
time, just
really
'cause of-
worth too much. And a lot of
It's
that
just
was
like
coming from
chill
the fact
racing,
that if
but
your
fun.
team didn't get the kill, you weren't getting anything from the assist either. You got nothing. Which was a bit tough,
Lurmy
right?
and
Because you
Row
spent all this time,
and
all this mana,
Aggro.
energy,
I don't think
whatever
Aggro
it
swapped
is,
yet.
into this fight, and you just
That's what
didn't
they
get the
had
last
to
hit, and
Crazy.
now all of that has kind of gone for naught. And that's why farming was also pretty good, was because you always get something when you're farming, but if you don't get the kill, you got nothing. But now you get something, which is great. So even
Cart was
participating
awesome,
in a team
dude.
fight will reward you with an assist, which is going to give you gold. Which is
Dude,
always nice,
now
35%.
like I don't
So
remember
you're pretty
what
happy about
like
that.
the state
Yeah,
of
so just
everything
jumping
was
into
back
the
when it
fight,
came
even
out
if it
before,
was
but now
secure
we can do
kill,
like
you're like, oh,
fucking
they're fighting.
races
Might
and
as well
like
make my
tournament and
person know
shit.
and reap the benefits.
Yeah, I will say, Ro playing Neath in these games did make that really easy for him.
I was testing some things. Right? These are play tests, and I think I fed this game too, for the record.
Hey,
After I got first blood on you.
but I mean, with the
Of course.
global ult, you know, you can be like, I got that assist.
Yeah, no, I was just
Yep.
aiming every time. I think I did go Jotun's first item, getting CDR and ulting as much as possible.
See, it's the strats. That's why you watch this. You get the strats. So another thing to talk about is just a little polish on the capture points.
Did we play hide and seek on this map? We
Yeah,
might have.
exactly. So again,
we're
if
just
we're
gonna
going
watch
back
the
to the
entire
feedback,
game as
we
they talk
listened
over
to a
it?
lot of
I
that. We
hope
wanted to make
to
sure
God
that
not.
picking up the scales and the skulls
feels like it's so
felt
far.
as
Like they're not
convenient
saying
and
anything
apparent
of
as
relevance.
possible,
There's like
visually,
3
auditorily,
things to do in
etc.
this, and
so
that's
we've
it.
updated a couple
Like,
of those
like, it
things.
isn't
There's
depth
more
to
buff bar
this.
icons. There's more visuals
More
on
buff
your
bar
player character
icons.
itself, and hopefully a lot of that feels has just been improved.
This must have been requested a
Yeah,
lot
thing we noticed
or
sometimes
something
No
from the
way.
community. I mean, why else randomly bring it back?
We wouldn't really know what was
Why put the
happening
time into
because
it?
was suddenly silenced and a little bit slowed.
But
so
are they really putting
it was
that much
balanced
time
when you
into
had
it?
that flag?
I
you
don't
weren't able
know.
to request
Feels like all they did
it.
was-
Now it should be really
was
clear, and those
add
intentional pickups
assists
should be much more obvious.
And
Imagine it's just one button and it's flick it on and it's all ready to go.
Nice, love to hear it. So next up, we're talking buffs. It looks like, and it looks like there's been kind of a lot of stat changes, a lot of changes to buffs in general.
no way
but
they're
one really
still
cool
talking
change
about-
regarding who gets the buff when you slay a camp. So let's get into that.
Yeah, so
is
previously there was
crazy.
a lot of like internal conflict within your teammates of who
Do you
gets
think
what
they
buff. If you're playing
extend
with a
these
random,
longer to make money
maybe
off
it's
of
just like,
Twitch?
It's
I
the
don't really
only
trust
thing
this
that
person
makes
with these
sense.
buffs. I'm just
Like-
gonna make
They
it.
don't need red buff.
It can't even be that much more money. I'm
Now
gonna be honest
everybody
with
gets
you.
red buff.
Their viewership
Everyone on
isn't
your
high
team, no
enough for
matter
it to
where they
be
are, whenever you secure a buff,
like a
everybody gets a
significant
buff.
amount of money.
So
I don't
you
get
can
it.
divide and conquer a little bit more effectively,
They're
or
just
if you just feel
slamming
like
ads
grouping up,
on the
you have to
subs.
decide. As
I mean,
much
to,
as you all will be
if
strong
the
together.
people like
And that's
doing
the
this,
biggest,
doing the notes, got the
change
money,
here
I
is
wouldn't even
that,
blame them.
You're just
Like,
going to be
I
spreading out
fully
the love
fucking
as much as
respect it.
possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no range on this either. Your teammate can be on the other
I
side of the
swear
map
that
and
is the
will
only
get
thing
the
that makes
buff
sense.
that you
They try to
get.
extend
You'll
it
get
for,
the
like,
buff
the
that they
little
get,
extra
and you can
ad
stack
money.
your buffs up. I think
10 more minutes.
Three types of
Fucking
buff
10
on
more
this game.
dollars.
There's 4.
It's 4, so you could have a lot of belts if you
This
Lot
will
of
be the
buffs.
main comp mode in
Now
Smite
it seems
too.
like each of the buffs have a little bit of stat change.
Bro, we'd all be fucking moving on.
Talk about every single one, but all a lot of we have the
Conquest is one of the
green
the
belt,
side
the purple
modes.
belt, the red belt, and the yellow belt, all getting changes.
Yeah, essentially they're just getting a couple updates to their stats. In general, they'll still do the same-esque thing
Yeah.
that they do in Conquest and other modes. Green will be
They should go back
the
to skins for
healing
extra
and/or
time. What do you mean?
tankiness.
Oh, wait,
Purple,
skins.
attack speed, generally really good for your hunters, damage dealers. Up next we've got, what is it? The red, which is again good for damage dealers, more for the ability focused ones
Bro.
though, rather than the basic attackers. And then
There's
finally,
no shot they're
the
breaking
Norns
down how
speed
buffs
buff,
work,
which-
right?
who doesn't like
And
going
telling you
fast? I
who
like going
takes
fast.
the
Going fast
buffs.
is pivotal.
But the good thing is you
Dude,
don't have to choose. You can have them all at once if you
don't
want
understand.
That's true. I mean, we got 2 on screen
It
right
looks
now,
like
so you can really style on them with the
The
4
buffs
belts.
go to whoever
You're
they
the
go
third?
to in
No,
the
you got it
Conquest
stolen.
map.
I
They're just
know,
slightly
man.
better.
Well, I wasn't getting
Yeah.
the third anyway because that was the
Why are they telling people who picks them up?
Back in the book.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. We're 30 minutes in these
All right,
patch
so you already
notes.
mentioned this a little earlier, but
Holy
the
fuck.
HUD is now
Yeah.
configurable because we have the technology.
Yes, indeed. New HUD and old HUD alike can now edit
Yep.
I love auditing the HUD myself.
their elements
there's no
on
way
the
they
HUD.
have to
So
talk
if
about
you
the HUD
wanted to mix
on
and match
Odin's
things around, you now
Onslaught.
can do
If
that.
they break
whenever
it
you
down
want.
and say, look, you
Move
can
that
move
little
this
help
here, here, I'm gonna
wherever
lose
you
my
want.
fucking
You can
mind.
move that top left element wherever you want it as well,
Yep,
or any
that's-
other
that's what they're saying.
pre-existing elements around too.
There's no
For all y'all
way.
people who like to make the map slightly opaque and over the entire screen, go nuts.
Oh my god.
So last but not least, seems like there's just a lot of general balance that kind of
But he
y'all
said
threw in
last,
here
okay.
to help refine the game plan.
For the-
Yeah, we'll
for
kind of run through
this
this really
game mode.
quickly as Bro turns around and ults me here, but that's
This is actually the end of the
chill,
patch
you know.
notes. Right
I know.
All right, let's let's talk about the
All
victory
the shit they
conditions. So the
leaked
gold
on
has been
Twitter were just
updated to
lies.
40,000. This kind of lets you get more into your super late game builds. Get a couple 500 pots there. Just feel like you have time to play in the late game versus it just feeling like it ends right away as soon as you get full build.
That makes sense.
Up next, the value of kills has been increased. This is kind of again to not disincentivize farming, but make fighting more important. Farming is still good. You still can farm and get into the game and even win from just farming, but it's a lot harder than it was before to do that.
Cool.
Up next, yeah, the value of non-objective camp kills has been reduced. On top of that, the health protections for all the camps has been adjusted as well as their scaling. So they'll just be a little bit tougher to kill come the late game, but they'll also be a little bit more rewarding if you need to panic, get back into the game. You can still farm.
There's gotta be some fucking reasons, bro.
The setup time has also been increased from 30 seconds
Are
to
they
75
stalling
seconds.
for something? But I can't even imagine what they'd be stalling for, because I think the paper notes are already up.
If you want to, scope out a plan with your teammates, whatever it might be, a little bit of extra time there. And then, of course, we've just got a couple of bans to this mode for a variety of reasons, whether they're OP, break the game, etc.
They've never done this, I don't think. Even for like the bigger ones, like you said, like the dungeon ones and shit, I don't think they broke it down this much.
No,
Clean and easy.
cannot remember.
Sounds good. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this mode come back. This was a really fun one. I mean, I'm a long time arena player, and like the whole reason is because I love just duking it out with other people.
Sure, I'm interested.
There's a lot of fighting.
Yeah, and the raw chaos of having so many separate teams just battling it out.
So fun.
We're just watching gameplay and talking about how it's fun right now.
So I'm super excited.
Is this a fucking YouTube fucking video? Is this a commentary?
About Odin's Onslaught.
Is going on?
It's a beautiful and inevitable return.
Haven't gone to the
patch.
patch notes yet, so they're just doing
But we still
commentary.
have some balance to talk about. There's
Yeah.
plenty more to go over. And the next section we're going to get into is items. There's a lot of those in Smite, and the team's been cooking again. So y'all just can't leave y'all alone. Every time we take our eyes off y'all, we look back and you're like, we did stuff with items. So I mean, I guess we'll just dive right into it, starting off with just some balance and some of the usual work of y'all making necessary. All right.
Well, Mr. Soliner, would you like to get into it?
Get into Equinox.
Yeah, you guys can blame me if you want if Equinox was healing a little too much at certain periods. So yes, we've decreased the
That's a
change
great
you get in
start.
from hitting a minion to now you're getting just only 1.5 times that amount when you're hitting a god. 2 times was a little much. We did all see the clips of a Bologna and Osiris just hand off the keyboard, holding left click, and just
Ducky
boxing
going
each
to
other.
sleep.
Yeah, Ducky going to sleep in his bed. So that shouldn't be as possible now. A lot of healing reduced from that item from when you're hitting gods.
We
Overall,
deleted
felt
it.
was
No,
in a
no, no,
decent
no,
spot in
bro.
the jungle. It brought some
Because of the
auto-attack
jungle,
jungles
it brought
back
some
into the meta
gods
that was
back,
previously
but we don't care about the
outside
healing.
of the meta because Jotuns and Hydras was dominating. So we accomplished what we wanted with this item. We're making some adjustments now that the Bologna and Osiris and to an extent Erlang and some others have kind of taken over the meta. So we're scaling it back a little bit, but you can still
crazy?
focus
I'm pretty
it. It's not
sure
weak by
auto attack
any-
warriors are
any
still going to be
means
busted
necessary.
just because of how
It's
good
just-
Frostbound is now.
It's a little more balanced.
I think you're right. I also don't think this nerf like makes the item bad. I think it was the item is so overtuned.
In that talk, and it looks like the
this is just gonna keep it still good.
Getting a little adjustment.
Yes,
Oh,
this
you're
is
probably
kind of
happy,
a
motherfucker.
related but separate discussion here. It's going to be a discussion about junglers and also mid laners in kind of a way.
This is
So
crazy
we've
to
been
me,
seeing a
I'm gonna be
pretty
honest.
Homogenous
I love
build
it.
come
I
out of
don't-
physical
I-
mid laners and
okay.
junglers especially. So we're trying
3,100
to
gold
just kind
for
of
the- or
switch
sorry,
up what this
2,900
early game
gold
build
for
is
the,
going to look like. Sometimes it's Jotuns and your Hydras, sometimes it's Jotuns Trans, or the other
what's
way
it
around.
called?
Bobble?
But
Bobble?
essentially,
Jotuns,
we are nerfing
Vigor, yeah,
Jotuns
Oh,
and
yeah,
Transcendence
yeah.
to kind of encourage.
I don't.
a
They
more
could take
equal
vigor
play,
out of the game, but I don't give a
for
fuck.
both other
I hate
classes,
this
whether that
item.
be mages
I
and
think,
mids,
dude, I
or,
got outrun by a
other
fucking
builds,
support
whether
with
that
that
be
sure
switching
solo
up
with
the
that
order,
first
switching
item. I
up what
couldn't
you're
catch him.
buying in that
That's a
slot. We
jungler.
just want to
Trying to
see a
catch
little bit
an
more
Uller
diversity
who's
there.
running
So
around with
these
Jotuns,
new items
whatever
are
that
just going
item
to
is
get a small
called.
price increase.
I think they should.
Slow them down a
takes
little
off
bit,
like a
not be
jet.
as
They should just
efficient
remove the
as
movement speed
insane,
and make
then
it like
Transcendence, of
more
course, is
sustaining or
getting,
something.
a little bit of
Down.
decreased mana.
I'd take
So
it.
that's going to
What are
also
they? Are they?
translate into
They
its
must be
passive,
buffing
which
ability hunters
translates
really
into
big in this
damage.
patch, bro.
That's right. It means
Why
less
are they nerfing
damage. and
Trans?
That's what I'm
Jotuns
saying. I think they're
costing
buffing
more gold
ability
means you're
hunters
gonna have technically
like
less damage
crazy.
because you have
Dude,
less gold
ability
spent on
hunters
new
are literally
items.
broken.
So yeah, just overall.
I think
a
Scotty's
reduction in
already
power
good and nobody
damage
knows it. If
for
they
mid
buff
hunters
Scotty with that
especially, and then
fucking
hopefully more
change.
diversity, just like we were talking about with Equinox, more diversity in the jungle
Surely
builds
they
as
don't
well.
nerf
Because I
Scotty
think
or buff
I haven't
Scotty.
looked at the data.
I'm pretty
actually
sure
now that I
she's
say
so
this,
good
but
low
I
level,
think
there's no way they touch
probably
her.
one of the most popular.
I mean, they
second
said
items
all
to build
the
is Wrath
the
in
pets
the
are getting
entire game,
item
obviously not
effects.
including support items,
Like
because that's
Crusher and
where
shit.
it's stone, but
Oh
pretty
my
much every
God.
jungle
Yeah,
build is
so unless
trying
they
to build
nerf
the second
her
item,
while
and then
buffing
the
that,
mid-hunters buying it as
I
well.
think she's gonna be the
It's time
best guy in the game.
for us to adjust that item. So that's what we've done. If we see some resistance in that people still just want to buy Jotuns, then perhaps we can look at adjusting the other items to make them more of an attractive
I
option.
feel like Jotuns can't fall out of the meta though. Like it's too
next
core.
Looks like y'all might have pondered the orb a little bit.
Like, what would
Two of
replace
them,
it?
Cursed orb and Doom orb.
Indeed.
Yes, this is along the same lines. We already understand that
Okay,
Doom Orb
certainly
and
this
Curse Orb
makes
are,
no fucking
like, go-tos.
sense.
They're very good early game staples, but here's the thing: they're
I
not
just
priced
don't,
like
like,
early game
I feel like
staples at
1500
all.
for this item is weird.
And that is again something
Like,
that is kind of
4700.
pushing them away.
Why are we
from that,
reducing the cost of an
mid-lane
item that everyone's
presence,
building
is
up
that
right
you
now?
want to go Doomer because
Yeah.
Doom Orb is a good item. It's a great item. You just can't get it before Jotun's
What?
Wrath comes online for those.
Oh, they're
physical
trying to
characters.
match the Jotuns?
So it made it very, very
What?
difficult. So
Those aren't
We are kind
comparable.
of playing into that to try to, decrease that goal
they
differential
trying to
of what
think
it
this
was
is a
before
jungle
versus, 20.
What are they saying? You're supposed to finish your first item in the mid lane at the same time as the jungle?
Than it was before.
Because they are not doing the same thing or playing the same role. So
a
I'm.
pricier item for that first
only other
item
thing I
slot,
can
but
think
it
of
has
is
a lot
they're
of flat pen on
nerfing
it, so we
ability
couldn't bring it
hunters
down
with
too
the
much.
Jotun's
But now it
change
makes sense that
to
it's a little bit
buff
cheaper because of that flat pen. So you
some
want
of
it
the
early,
mage
and now you
items
can
to
afford it
have
early.
like AMC.
Oh, in mid. Okay. Yeah, no, you can play it in mid. Okay,
So it
okay.
looks like it had some of its stats adjusted.
Yes, this is throwing it over to the magical ADCs who have also been struggling.
the stats of
we
this item are
see you
still
magical
so bad.
players.
Like, it is
Definitely, we hear it.
it is crazy
So
how
we
bad
are
the
just
stats of
making
this
them
item
a
are.
little
Okay,
bit stronger
not only
here.
the stats,
Little bit
it's
of extra max
9% every
health damage,
10
little bit of
seconds.
decreased
What the
cooldown
fuck am I gonna
on
do with
Nano
that?
8. Again, it'll come online.
Oh,
a
now
little
it's
bit faster
8.
because
Sorry.
you
Like,
don't
what?
have as
I'll
much
proc
XP
once when
to
I
get
kill
that
somebody
passive
as a
going,
fucking full
as
damage mage.
quickly.
Like,
So
what?
it's gonna
I
feel
think it
very nice
reduces
to be
by
able to
1
proc a little bit
second every
harder
time
and
you
a little bit more
auto.
often.
Yeah, I think as well. Speaking
go
about
down to,
item
like,
procs, we'll
I
see more of that
don't get
later.
me wrong,
Maybe
it's
by
still
this.
ass.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say it's
Yeah.
But it's not
Definitely,
like
I think the
actually
biggest thing
8
here is the
seconds,
cooldown
but
reduction
stats of the
because
item are
remember your
terrible.
auto attacks reduce that
9%
cooldown even
max
further.
health
So getting
every,
those 2
like,
seconds
4
off
seconds where
actually
you have to hit
might
the
bring it
autos.
to one or two auto attacks earlier
And
than
you
what
think
you would have had
about
before.
Kins,
So
Kins
it's a
is literally
significant damage
7%
increase on this item.
Is it
Nice,
7%
always
max
good to
health
see.
with no cooldown?
So Bancroft's kind of the Bancroft's three-piece.
Maybe? I don't remember.
One of the
6
next
or
in
7?
line to
can't
have some stat changes. Little love.
So Bancrofts is an item
Bro,
that
they're
you typically
they're
want to get
cool.
early
Mages
if
are about to
you're
be
getting lifesteal,
fucking
right?
nuts.
So it's just a nice,
already hate
very
mages.
good stat boon to have.
I've
but
been
it is just
spamming
a little bit
Anubis lately,
expensive
so
when
I'm
we bring
happy.
it down
Fuck.
again to kind of keep it competitive.
They're
with
buffing
your
my
physical magical,
Anubis.
essentially, is the TLDR of that.
Other than
But if we
Anubis, though,
move
who
on
built
to
Bancroft?
Nimble Bancroft challenge, this is a spicy one, I think.
Soul,
Wait,
maybe?
this
We
is-
are
this
now
is
adding
insane.
basic
Added
attack
2
power,
power.
per passive stack. So again, this is
Wait,
translating
wait,
power
this
into
is
attack
crazy.
speed,
No, this is
and now
crazy.
additionally
This
basic
is
attack power as
crazy.
well. So the more that you get,
Basic
you're
attack
getting
power
even
for
more
magical
basic
gods.
attack
This
power.
is
It's
like-
building itself a little bit, which
Wait,
is
what
very
is it?
nice.
2 stacks is
Very spicy.
that's
Because we
10
did the
extra
cost
power you're
reduction
getting on
Bancroft
your
as well,
autos
so it has to
every
come off
stack.
of Bancroft's
Yep.
score as well. So an even flat 3,000. So
You're gonna
I
have
think
a
you know,
lot of
maybe
A
just
gods
more
back, bro.
magic
Holy
ADCs, building
fuck.
Cyclopean ring,
Bro, I
and
might
then
have
the
Soul taking
early
my
game
tier 1
Bancroft,
tower at
upgrade it
60
later on until
seconds.
I
nimble,
might build the
and all of a
AA
sudden
one
you
on
go
fucking
from a little bit
Anubis.
cheaper and more
Fuck.
damage.
This could even be for
Bro,
your
what's
Anubises
the,
or
Alquang?
Hadeses
The
as well that
Alquang
are
is
getting a
gonna be
nice little bump
busted.
here
Yup,
as well. Because we've
Alquang,
definitely been keeping an
Zhonghui.
eye on lifesteal characters
Yeah,
in
Zhong,
general,
auto attack Zhong
and
is
we
gonna
want to
be
make
sick.
sure that those guys are getting some love too.
Yo,
Rock and roll.
they
All
are
sounds
buffing
good.
the fuck
Now
out
we're
of
out of the
mages.
Max is
realm
just
of
in the back,
magic,
just
beautiful
nodding his
magical
head,
items a
not
little bit.
saying
Now
anything.
the real
He's staring at the
problem
camera.
solver. Hammers.
Yeah, they don't have him doing
Blackthorn,
anything.
yes.
He's just
Black-
sitting back
Solar
there.
Ring.
Oh man,
Blackthorn hammer.
I can hear your
What
knock.
the fuck are they doing?
I can talk about this one because it kind of relates to what we're talking about with Echo.
350 HP
and
and 40 fucking power.
We brought back auto
Infinite
attackers
mana.
quite heavily with the Equinox
Why-
introduction.
this has to be
Nerfing
leading
that
to
a little bit
something.
now
What
and
the
then doing
fuck
a
are they
small buff
doing?
to Blackthorns as well. Blackthorns generally bought on things like Achilles, tier, more of your ability-based
Yeah.
warriors. So, like I said, we buffed the auto attack warriors. Now we're bringing back. The idea is to bring back the ability warriors to be at that same level, so they can be competitive, and you can have that diversity in the soul lane. You can pick what you want to play, and there's a viable build for everything.
Yeah.
You love to see it. So next up on the docket, we have a little bit of sigil changing. So warding sigil, sigil of the old, old
dude,
guard,
I
infused sigil, all
so
kind
worried
of seen a
about
little
this.
adjustment here.
Yeah, these are
We're getting a
relatively
hybrid.
unpopular
hybrid
I
item.
would say.
One
And
might would say.
they're
This
kind of
item
a
is
more
useless.
defensive option, right?
Is
Which
that-
makes
is
sense.
there
in
more?
conquest.
Hold
But
on,
in
hold
other
on.
modes like arena, this item is crazy. It's very, very good.
It's for
And
arena.
one thing that's come up quite frequently is that this item previously only had physical power, which means you could only buy it on physical characters.
We see
but,
potential
you know,
in
maybe
this
you're
item.
playing Guardian, maybe you're
Jay,
playing a
I'd rather
mage
have
like
lied to me
Nox or
than bring up
Afro or any
Arena.
of these characters that could build tanky, and you want to go this item as well in, again, non-contest game modes.
Arena?
Again,
Wait, she just say
we
Afro?
are kind of adjusting the stats here, taking the health off, adding power instead to
Dude,
give, you know, the
Afro
ability to buy
solos
item
building
magicals.
warding
But we
sigil,
understand
I'm
that
out.
removing health is
That's
a
it.
pretty significant nerf, so we are adjusting it in other aspects as well. The prots are going up on the base. And
I'm
of
waiting
course,
for there to
we
be like
move
a-
on to the
a page
upgrades.
2.
Sigil of the Old Guard, again, also losing health, gaining magical power. You're going to be
No,
increasing
they're
your
touching the
protection. from
healing.
40 to
Yeah,
45, and
that's
the
what
heal
I
is
was
also
worried about, but
going
there
up
has
as
to be
well,
more
which
here.
is going to be a very nice little cherry on top for that. So not only
fuck.
can you buy it on more characters, but you're getting a little bonus to the things you already had.
I don't like
And then
the
one
extra
more
healing
infused
ever.
sigil also getting a bump in procs
the
and
stats on these
adding
items are
magical power.
crazy.
Yes.
I mean,
Why are we getting back into hybrid? I thought we no hybrid items. I thought that was the
One of my
whole.
favorite items in the game to just run at as a full tank. I'm ready to ruin everything.
Yeah, let me run into the back line really quick with infused sigil guardians now. I love that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a mess.
4,000 HP at level
we talked
10.
about a lot of cool item stuff. And I said earlier they were cooking. They weren't just cooking on what they already had. We got some new stuff to talk about. Something you might have even teased a little on Twitter, maybe. So let's dive into the first of 2 new items.
I can't believe that was all
in
the
Smite
new items.
Called Curse Weaver.
Curse Weaver. All right, so this item is building off of Sorcerer's Staff,
Oh
which is in
God,
the
Bobby, it's more
Warlock's
health.
tree. So Sorcerer's Staff is the tier 2. This
You
item
already
is
know
going
what it
to
does?
make
I don't know what it does yet.
2,500 gold. It's going to have 60 magical power, 250 health,
If it's a
and
hybrid
250
passive,
mana. But
that's
we all know that's not where you're here for.
potential.
Stat schmats, am I right? Let's move on to the passive. This passive is reminiscent of some anti-mage, anti-caster identities of long past. And so I'll just read it off for you.
5% of your.
Hit an enemy god
What
with a
the
basic
fuck?
attack or ability, marks them for 4 seconds. When the marked
100%
enemy god casts an
of
ability,
the
they take 5% of your maximum health plus 5%
Wait, so if they hit
of
like a
your
Kraken,
maximum mana as
if you hit like
magical
a
you heal for 100% of
they
the
hit a
damage
Kraken,
dealt.
Bobby, you
may
full
only
heal.
apply a mark once every 12 seconds. Each time an enemy casts an ability within 55 units of you, reduce the cooldown of this item by 1 second. So that's a lot of words. What does it actually do? Hit someone with anything as a magical character with this item, they get cursed. When they pop an ability, if they do it when you had the debuff on them, which is 4 seconds, so it's not really that long.
Wait, do you see how it resets?
They will take some damage based
Every
on
time an
your
enemy
stats,
casts an
your tanky
ability
stats,
within 55
or
units, you reduce
your
the
damage
cooldown
stats if
of
you're
the proc by 1
epically
second.
building all the books.
In a
Additionally,
team
on
fight,
top
that
of
shit might
heal,
proc.
and
Yeah,
then
that shit
beyond
might
that,
proc
if
over
you're
and
in
over and
low
over
team fight,
again.
You're really getting the heck in there. It'll come off cooldown sooner.
Yeah, and you can't throw it on. I know we
If
have.
you're
a
using
little
that
video,
against
I think
any
we
of the
have what
spammy
we're doing on
gods, bro,
Twitter
it's
to showcase that again.
I'm
so
locking
you can
this
see the
god or
curse
this
lingering.
item in against every ruler.
So you see that purple
Playing
debuff,
so
and you
back.
can see with the ghost coming out. That's the
It's a
debuff
ma-
there.
it's a
Lasts
guardian
4
item, right?
seconds,
Like,
and then
it's
when
made
the
magic
damage
power?
spell
It's
will damage
percent
them,
max-
and
or
the
percent
heal
max
is
health.
always
There's
see
no
the
way this
heal
is a-
effects pop up on Anubis there.
I can't think of a single
and
mage that
that's
this
how
would
you
be
know
that
you
good
can
on.
heal.
No.
And it's a
I don't know.
significant
But I'm
amount of
like,
heal.
if it doesn't have
Like,
physical
the
power, it's
ability
mad. It's
doesn't
literally
even do
guardian.
max
So
health
you're
and
gonna
max mana,
you're
so
gonna have
you can kinda get
supports
creative with this
killing
build to
you.
see
You're
the
gonna
best of
have
Adam.
fucking
So
solo
that's another
guardians
thing to
coming
think about.
back.
Especially if you're even in lane.
What?
You
And
mentioned
it's not
team
that
fights with a lot of
expensive. Like
gods popping
2,600
abilities,
isn't
but if
cheap
I'm
by any means.
buying in the solo lane, maybe as a Xingqian Guardian with Sigil. Now that we've changed that to be on a magical god, and you're against a King Arthur that has a lot of abilities,
What?
this
Nah,
item
I don't
comes
think you'll
with
run this on
the
like
offer
Tiamat.
and actually add a lot of damage and healing to your
Sigil?
shit.
Yeah, super cool. And
Healing
again, it's just
percent
one of
max
those that
health? Wait,
adds a lot of skill
wait,
expression,
Sigil-
you know, because you have this whole new
Wait,
mechanic
this
you can
item
play
on
around
Cthulhu
based
when
off
he
of an
ults
item.
is gonna be at
then you
like
entangle that with the
7,000
gods.
health,
You're like, oh, the
and you're gonna be
enemy
hitting
has,
yourself
like
for
you
like
said, there's a
200
King
damage
Arthur,
every
you know,
ability
like
you
there's a lot of
use.
abilities
Yep.
going off. Just a lot of cool ways to play with
Oh, you
this.
said
so.
Jing?
Yeah.
Excited to
It's
see
more
it,
than that,
but also
right?
excited to see this
It's
next
way more
item,
than that.
which is also a
Is that Anubis just hit for
Oh,
one
boy.
100
you
something,
can tell
right?
by that reaction. So this new item is called
Because it's
Duality.
mana too.
This is a new
Yeah,
item
this would
in
be
the
almost
Balance
400
Blade
damage
tree.
for
So
on a
this comes
Cthulhu.
off of Light Blade, and it's next to Chinsai, Executioner, and Asi are the items that it builds into. It's
stats
going to be
are
2,700 gold.
Expensive for a
So
reason.
Little
luxury
costly.
item. We'll get into why in a moment here. 40 physical power and 15% attack speed. So decent power stats. Kind of mid to okay attack speed, but again very expensive. Now there you go. Learn me. Why is it so expensive? Well, I'll tell you, chat. It's because once every 5 seconds, your next basic attack deals half of its damage, and instead half of that damage is converted into physical ability damage. This bonus damage can proc ability item effects.
What
Means
the
you're getting Bluestone
fuck?
from your auto attack. You're getting Crusher from your
It's
auto
for
attack.
ability
Heartseeker from your auto
hunters,
attack.
right?
There's a lot of ability item effects that can just proc off of your basic attacks
cannot
now.
tell.
that were
I think it's
previously only
gonna-
proccing off of abilities.
Yep.
That is
So once every 5 seconds, your auto's gonna do half auto attack damage,
Way to
Builds
and then
can
half
get really crazy.
ability
That
damage
previously
and
was
proc
kinda trolled to
abilities.
go, Crusher,
So is this
Heartseeker
just
on
like
characters
a-
like Rom.
Like a poke
Duality?
auto attack
kind
item?
of
I'm
can.
fucking
Or-
lost. This is
You
like a
kind
super
of can, I
yo-yo.
guess. It's probably still a little troll, but
You'll have to test it out, but I know
I'm
going to hop and
yeah,
get
we're gonna
an
see
idea
this,
of
I'm
what that
confused.
looks like. Let's check it out then.
Oh, here we go.
yeah,
it
by all
looks like
means,
Heartseeker
just
and Crusher,
go
but-
ahead, take it away, just kind of go crazy with it. Yep, and you'll see here that it's only once every 5 seconds, so you're getting 100% of that damage, 100% of the healing, etc. You're also getting things that don't deal damage,
not
like
trolling? Is this
Brawlers
item
is
just
another
ass?
item that you can apply with your basic attack now. So essentially, there's just so many options of things you can do. Like, what is it?
It's not like
I'm trying to think
most
of like
these
all of
items
the
are
various things
good
we can
hitting
do with it that we
multiple
tested. We
times.
tested so many.
Yeah.
This one's been in development for a little longer. In fact, I'll leak a little something here. This is so OP at one point that we decided not to ship it in a patch. It could have
I'm
come out last
confused. Is it
patch,
for
but
Heartseeker
we changed it
procs?
heavily
Like,
because it was so OP. This is a delicate item that's really, really fun.
There's
You know,
got to
when we
be
showed this off the
some.
first time to our
I don't know.
internally, they were like, "Oh, this is really fun. This is really exciting."
They kind of had a like field day going off and like brainstorming builds and things that we could
It
do,
just
but we
sounds
understand completely
weird.
that this is a very scary thing to be messing with, and we don't want to change these things lightly. So
I think
again,
it's
it had to go
basically
through a bunch
saying
of
you can
iterations to get to this
you can
point, but we're
proc
super excited with how
one
it
your
turned out. And honestly,
your
the
items once every
flexibility
5
of this
seconds.
is just so exciting. I can't wait to see what kind of builds
I
you
don't-
guys cook up and what
I
kind
think
of
so.
flexibilities.
I can give a little example as well. Like one thing I'm excited
It's
about.
just
is
Heartseeker
maybe
and
Cupid.
Crusher,
He's in
right?
a weird spot where he's clear his ability damage because he needs his high.
Like, what
bomb, so
other
you
what
kind
other
of want
procs are there? And Boost
Heartseeker
on.
for his
What
clear,
else?
But then he only has 2
Is that it?
damaging abilities, his 1 and his ultimate, to be able to proc Heartseeker. Now, if his auto attacks every 5 seconds
on.
can also
This is-
proc Heartseeker.
this is
and
like literally
Crusher
just
and
Crusher,
Bluestone,
Heartseeker,
then it makes
Bluestone.
those builds a lot more viable on
Yeah,
him.
I can't-
On
there's-
the other side of the things, if you
I
get
guess
really
Axe-
creative, you can
Axe is
talk
a proc
about, you know,
item.
maybe Vamana wants to buy
But, like, that's got a
Bluestone for his
cooldown on it.
early wave.
Yeah, you're not
clear,
gonna-
and
Like,
he
you can't-
transition into corrupted Bluestone later
I
on,
literally
but
cannot
you know
think
it's
of-
difficult
is
to
this
get your
actually a good
corrupted
item?
I
Bluestone
don't.
stacks when you're in your
I
ultimate,
can't
and especially
imagine
in the
how
moment
it's
when
gonna
it's ultimate.
fit into
Now,
like a Hunter ability
when Vamana's
build and
in
be
his ultimate,
good,
he can
unless
build
I'm
up that
just
corrupted
missing
Bluestone
something.
with his auto attacks because of duality. So it
Good
just
on
adds these
Chiron
new
ult,
flavor
but
builds to these
you already
characters that
used
just
Chiron
kind of
ult
had
with
one
these
build
items.
path
It's just
before.
the
It's
only
gotta
thing
be
I-
for another Heartseeker
Again,
proc,
we're just
bro.
adding
That's
another
like
layer
that's
to
what it's
think
gonna
about
be,
the game
right? It's gonna
and-
give you
and
an
just be more
extra
creative
Heartseeker
with
proc in
it.
your kit every
Yes, and
5
again, you're
seconds.
not
Yeah,
just
but
gaining for
how the
this,
fuck
right?
are you
Not
gonna
only
work it into an
is it
auto
every
attack
so often
build?
it's on a timer,
No,
but
you're-
you are
you're-
trading
it
off
would
a
only be
good
on- it would be
portion
thrown
of
into
your
an
basic
ability
attack
build. You'd-
damage
Yeah,
that you're
but-
getting to
Yeah,
trade
what would
off
you
for
replace?
additional procs. So it's not
you
always
need
a net
trans
positive.
They're
but
trying to
when
get you to
you
replace
have all those
Jotuns. I think
proc
they're
items,
trying
when
to
you've got
swap
the
out
full build
Jotuns,
online, it
but
feels
like,
really nice. But
Then you have no
this is
cooldown.
Yeah, you
definitely
need
a game that you
Jotuns.
should be careful about going in the early game because again, you are trading off that damage for damage somewhere
That's
else.
right. And it's not
What's like
cheap
a- is
either.
there
We
like a
did
Kali
angle
build
it
you could get
towards
working with,
the
like,
mid
Crusher and
late
Heartseeker
to late
and
game
this
for
item?
sure. We did 2700
if
gold
that
item cost
procs
because we wanna make
Hydras,
sure people understand they
if
wanna
it
get these
counts
proc
as an
items online
ability, but I don't
first
think it does. I
before
don't
they
think it
go
would
duality.
proc Hydras. You know
It
what I mean?
definitely
Like
makes sense.
I
It
don't mean
doesn't
like
seem like a
like
first
do
item
the
for sure,
damage. I mean like
because it's
cause
passive.
Hydras to be like
I gotta
go off.
throw a lot of respect on an item like this because
If
some
it
items you
activated
release and
Hydras,
they become a
maybe?
part of a build and they're really cool and they're really fun to use. But how rare is it to see an item come out that redefines build paths? You know,
Because like
that's
how many
yeah,
ability
so
gods
really,
are
really
even
cool.
autoing
Excited to
5
see,
times?
Obviously, tons of internal tests.
The only
done,
god that
as
I can
always,
think of that could be
but
okay with this
we can only
is
cover
Fuki.
yeah, we can only
If
cover so
Fuki-
much ground. You know, it's
Right, yeah.
it's
Could fit
crazy
it
how
in
the
a build.
moment we
Yeah,
release
because
this out
his
in the
shit counts
wild
as all
and
auto.
y'all
Yeah,
get
because
your
he's doing
hands
most of
on
the
it,
auto damage.
all the crazy stuff that shows up that we
That
were
just doesn't
I
sound
love
good.
them,
I don't
so-
understand.
really excited with
I'm
something.
curious what
scary,
the
but yeah.
how it was so
Always
A
a little
little
scary.
bit, you know, it's
When we're
always
making it sound
exciting
like it's so
to
ass.
see an item like
Unless
this,
I just
or
don't
really to
understand
see
the
a
item. Maybe I
concept
don't
that
understand
kind
it,
of
but
like
it just
breaks
does not sound good.
the rules a little
Once
bit.
every
You know what I
5
mean? Where it's
seconds,
like,
your next
this is
basic attack
everything
has
we're
half of
looking
its
for.
damage
Well,
converted to
let's see what it
physical
looks
ability
like.
damage,
You know, it's
and it
time
can
to get
trigger
a
ability
little
item effects.
experimenting and just seeing what
It's
kind
like
of
a
fun builds
poke
you guys
auto
can come up
attack
with.
item.
Because again, the build path changing is what I'm really excited about. Being able to build
Pretty
items
sure it's-
that have
Abilities are what
previously
you're
not
poking
worked
with.
on certain characters for X,
Yeah,
Y, Z
I'm
reason
not.
get duality, and now they work.
Because I'm thinking like Ul and Scotty
Just
and
so
all them
excited
just
for all
don't
of
even
that.
auto that much.
Excited
They
to
just,
see it.
I mean,
Those-
they
that is
combo
the
in their
item
autos, but they
so
aren't
two
autoing.
beautiful new items to look out for with a variety of crazy
Hey, I mean,
after
I guess
effects we will
I'll
never be able to
see
imagine
if I
until
can
y'all
figure
figure it out.
something
And we're
else
like,
so
whoa,
that
this is crazy.
Bumba's hammer would get procced.
We are horrified and looking forward to
is
it.
does
So let's dive out of Balance Land for a minute here.
Merc's
and,
not gonna go into. Yeah, he's not gonna go into those
the land
items. knows?
The land of cool cosmetics. Y'all know how this works. Again, y'all been here now. We're on the 5th update. We're cruising through.
I'm actually very confused about that item. I'll have to test it and see if there's any way it's valuable.
We'll get one of these every update, and these contain a variety of cosmetics, not the least of which are cool cross-gen skins. That's right, cross-gen, the cool word of this year.
No, because the thing is based on your power, so it would just get added on after, I'd assume.
It's the new take on the battle pass. It's cross-gen content. And it's just exciting to say. It feels like it's heavier.
I wouldn't even want it to proc with that auto. I would want that auto to proc another Hydra. So you get like, like a 5th Hydra's auto.
Like, oh no, like we're giving you stuff for that game that you played now.
Like you go through your whole user 1, you get it, your 2, you get it, your 3, you get it, then that procs you get it a 4th time, and you're like, oh shit, they're dead.
Starting off with Steel
Does it actually
Sentry.
proc as an
I
ability?
doubt it.
That's actually interesting.
I fucking doubt it.
This kid's so sick. She's
More
got this
skins?
like kind of robotic, but also slightly human,
Nike?
like super soldier vibe. Which I think is
Stormseeker is your
really
favorite
awesome.
item.
And of course,
After
the
you
next
what
there,
he's
she's got a couple of
saying,
frames in the
dude.
background.
Hold on, did Stormseeker get buffed
Little
again?
drones, you might even say. Yeah, this Athena skin is sick. The theming and the coloring, very, very cool and very pretty. Love the purples.
Yeah, it's really fun that we get to put this battle pass in the game, and then you get to buy it and then earn the rest of the items, and then you get them in Smite 2. So with the next Smite 2 test coming up, you can play it again. So it's really cool.
Yeah,
Another
Athena's
reason.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so you
true.
can the next test if you earn.
I
the
guess
skin
he
by
would
this battle
split
pass, you'll
a
be able
crit
to play
auto
Smite 2.
into ability damage.
So, and again, super cool to see.
Yeah, she's got some
Oh
friends.
yeah, little buddies. Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
cool.
There's
On
got to
the
be
wings,
something
too.
I'm not thinking about that makes
they
that shit
follow
OP,
her
or
around,
something
they
that I
do
don't
different
realize
things during her
works.
various animations. They're just cool little friends to hang out with you while you're.
Oh,
taunting
it
people
would
in.
make brawlers
And
go
while
up
you're
every 5
diving
seconds,
across the
which would,
map
or
to
every 5
save
autos.
the solo laner
Yeah, it
from
kind of makes
his fate.
sense how she can
So
like.
you have to
jump
go an
across the
item
map
to make
now.
brawlers
Yeah, like the
useful.
propulsion
like
of
the
the
rocket
guy.
Yeah, that is
There we go.
That is
'Cause
crazy.
Before it was just
I
like
gotta head out though.
Yeah.
Later, dude.
Could be Guan Yu's weapon,
Unfortunately-
actually.
Yeah, and
I will
the
not get to watch
shield.
the
So
rest
let's
of these
go ahead and
wonderful
take a peek at
notes.
this
Yeah,
one
you'll be
video.
fine. There's just skins.
Yeah,
All right,
Yup.
Later, dude.
That's a cool
Look at
skin.
her.
Thank you, Bobby.
Dude, I just love how her silhouette changes so much
Oh, that's a
with
good
the
little shout
addition
there.
of the extra buddies. And yeah, the shield,
Very cool.
very cool. Metal Gorgon,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
God, I'm not gonna lie, the extra shit around the shield is cool, but like,
And that's a real.
I'm still trying to process that item.
The Gorgon head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very lore
Very,
accurate.
yeah, thematic for Athena.
I just got back from
I'm
Greece,
glad Bobby
actually,
was in
and
here because
like,
I'd be
seeing
by
statues
myself. Like, am I
reading
missing
about
something?
Oh,
Like,
that's
this just
so cool.
sounds like
studying
trash.
Pantheon, so I could come back and be even
That
better
Guardian items
as
looks
a
OP as
guy who knows
fuck.
stuff about Smite, so
Oh,
Yeah.
bye, bro.
You can't run from your
I'll be shading ya.
they can't run. from their fate.
Procs
Ooh,
on an
actually,
auto
special
every
sound
5
while you guys
seconds.
are,
How you playing 5
listening to this
autos?
voice pack. This is Gore
Oh,
Miser's first ever
that's
voice
even that's
pack that
worse.
he has
That's
been
much
in game,
worse.
So shout out to
Gore
Gore.
Miser?
That's
Excellent
better for
job
hunters,
here
but
with
worse
this
for
very-
like maybe trying to get it to work on.
What's the word? Serious, but
one of the
also
ones.
powerful.
I say it's ability for better for ability hunters because they, you know, you aren't really prioritizing autos.
That hit harder
Be
than
part of your
you.
combo.
I love that. I love that ult. Like I love the big laser.
I'm
beam
pretty
kind of
sure
like-
that's just gonna be
Yeah.
more burst for
I love
ability
also just
hunters.
the effects on reach
Like,
and on the
if you
shield
can
as
fit
well
it in the
with
build, you're just gonna
damage
get an
mitigation
extra
stats.
heart
It's just
seeker
always so
proc
nice.
on like
The
ul.
glow on the weapon as well while you have the reach stack ready to throw. It looks really cool. Actually, like when you did the little laugh there and the
Is
little
it good on
friends
low
thing,
key?
the
Like you're
little
giving up
bubble, like
another
that.
item to
yeah,
build
yeah,
it.
as well. Yeah.
What item are you giving up
The
to build it?
constant attention to detail.
You guys are acting like you can just add this into your
And like I
build
said,
and you
to
don't lose
cross-gen
something.
pass, you're gonna want to look at this in Smite.
You
too.
lose
So-
Oh
something.
yes, please. Let's take a look. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Athena
The
has
way the
cool
metal
skins, like
looks,
very
like just the
Yeah.
like
sheen of
the
light
colors
across
that
the
they've
metal
added and
Yes,
done
the
with the
reflections,
abilities
that really helps
is
as
very
well.
is just good.
That
I like that
purple
one
stands out
sheet, the
from
one
the rest of the
fucking
skin.
I love these poses too. Can we just talk
fucking
about
like
that for a
is it
second?
Tiki shield?
Like shouts
I
to
forget
the
what the
art
shield
team
is
for
on it.
getting
Looks
them in
dope.
some really cool, unique, and dynamic poses. It just really sells the attitude of the character in such a simple thing, right? Any character could be posed like that, but that luld like Athena.
Yeah, very aggressive.
You're gonna replace Jotuns and
it
then
could've
have
all
not
been,
max
you know, like,
cooldown? That
these
just
are-
doesn't
these
make
are
sense.
Renders, you know, like
Yeah.
I'd be happy seeing.
You're
A
losing
poses,
something
honestly.
trying to
So,
build
like,
that
the fact
item, and
they're
I
like,
don't
"Nah, that
know
doesn't- that's
what.
not cool
Because you
enough.
have to have
just be-
transcendence.
Let's up
That's
that.
non-negotiable. You won't have mana.
Just a shout again. It's
So,
all the
like,
attention to detail. So one more skin to
when
talk
do you
about
build that?
in the Galactic Frontier cross-gen pass, and that's
Replace
Iron
Failnaught and
Fang
literally
on-
have 0 cooldown?
Or another god we already have in Smite
Oh.
2, so be able to play this.
That item has attack speed on it. It has no cooldown on it.
Yeah,
So
dude, I
you
love
can't
that
just
weapon.
lose.
Can we talk about
like,
that?
And then if you don't have Crusher, you don't
Looks
proc
heavy. It's like
Crusher.
a hook. I don't like it.
So then you lose the proc.
Yeah, when he impales you with that.
So then you're
that's
only
gonna
procking
hurt.
Heartseeker with
but
it.
not coming back.
You're locked. Yeah, you're locked in. So
Owie.
I like these perspectives too. Just I don't know. I like the little tail in the background.
Sekhmet doesn't
Like,
proc
yeah,
on
this is
lifesteal.
horrifying and I'm about to die.
Has to be
but
ability
it's
healing.
still-
He's still a kitty cat at heart.
It's still a kitty cat. at heart. Exactly. That's all that matters.
I don't know.
So
I'm just.
even though
There's got to be
it's about
something I'm not thinking about,
Very
right? There has to
scary.
be something for that item that I'm not
Looks
thinking
too.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, with glowing eyes.
Yeah, I like all the orange bits. Yeah, even
Oh,
even better
I
in
just
the
can't
good.
imagine it
Yeah.
being enough
Glowing eyes
extra
and the
damage.
weapon and the shoulders.
A
really
little
cool.
scar. That guy's.
You're
been on the
essentially
battles.
building it to get another
Doesn't
Bluestone
on his
proc and
armor
Heartseeker proc.
itself.
It is how much is like a fourth bluestone proc
that
that's
is a
already
cool
reduced
skin.
because you've hit more than one?
I always love like the necklaces too. It looks like a trophy.
Why are we okay? I like the idea of a blackout skin.
So always super cool to see. And again,
But why does that face look like clay? It looks like something that you'd make at a fucking one of those things where they like turn the clay in front of you and you like mold it.
Smite 2. So
there's no kins on ability hunters.
We could go in game for this one. Let's check that out. Let's do that.
There's no such thing as semi-ability hunters
Yeah.
from what I've
There he
played
is.
in the
Look at that
last
sick weapon.
Yeah,
year.
the weapon is really
Pottery,
sick.
yeah.
Dude, I can't wait to see what those basics look like.
Not that I want to be stabbed
Ooh.
by any.
Oh, the trail.
Like on
Dude.
fire.
I like the autos.
That's so
I'm not even gonna
cool.
lie, I do like the autos.
All right,
I've
build
noticed
back.
like a lot of hunter autos that are like this. Like there's
Oh,
another honor skin that's like a frosty one, and the autos on it look really
Yeah.
It's
good.
almost like
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
Very
Yeah.
like an obsidian type thing.
Yeah. Dude,
Bye.
Goodbye, Odin.
dude, these like trail effects and the extra like oomph. Yeah,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
I love this color combo.
What was the pillar?
And the crack on the ground even. I mean, come on. That's so cool.
Yeah, they're like purple to red.
Don't die constantly.
I mean, that's what he wants them to do. Just being clear about his
Pretty straightforward,
intentions.
yeah.
Yeah.
Straighten
I
him out a little
respect it.
bit.
Outside of the face, I am a fan of the skin. I didn't see the pillar though. If the pillar's the same, that's kind of boring.
Nah, it pays to be honest when you're a space assassin.
Pillar.
All
Combo,
right,
or do you not know
let's
how?
check out the Smite 2 render.
Yes.
I'm just too excited for it.
I want to see. Whoa.
Yeah, that looks a lot better
Dude, the
in
upgrade on the
Smite
fur,
2.
especially I know
Holy
we talked about it
fuck.
with Wukong, but this
Holy
like is
shit.
you can super.
That's one of the more
I'm just constantly
significant
offended
before and
by
afters
all of
out of these
Intricacies
skins.
of the armor, you can see it in there.
Yeah, because of the lighting, all of the little folds and the plates on the legs, they just all stand out so much more clear.
And speaking of the lighting, I don't think we've talked about the
Is
spear
he
in the room
bald? Why
yet.
not? Maybe he's balding. He's under
Hello?
stress. He's in the
Yeah.
fucking
That thing is
duo lane
bright.
having a jungler
It
up his
is
ass
bright.
for 25 minutes.
That's one thing I'm really. I mean, again, he's already in Smite 2, so we'll be able to play it in Smite 2 very
I'm
soon.
so excited.
Seeing the glow of that weapon, the glow from his eyes through a corridor in the jungle as well is gonna be really cool. And
He's really
his new
peeking out from the
animation-
jungle.
That's some real walking out of the stealth bush with his eyes glowing. You're like, no,
Oh
no,
my
no, no.
god, the stealth push.
Wait. No. Oh man. All right, so cool. Again, that is the Galactic Frontier cross-gen pass. Make sure you check it out on Tuesday. You already know how it is. So I guess it's God balance time, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about
Ready.
some balancey stuff, some God balancey stuff. So again, they've been cooking.
These
Items
are
were the
big.
only thing on the menu. They have a whole second menu covered with delicious God changes, and we're going to get right into it now with some of the more standard balance, starting with Bologna.
Yeah, let's talk about nerfs. We got a couple nerfs.
Let's do some nerfs.
Guess I can take it away again.
They're nerfing
Oh, that nerfed, yeah.
Same
Bologna.
line as the good one.
Are we
Same
nerfing
line as
all
the
the
Equinox,
AA warriors?
Very, very strong god with Equinox. By far the strongest. Even when you look at the most simple data
Kill
we
it,
have,
or
even
make
just
it do
publicly
like
available
damage for
single
jungling.
data, her win rate was kind of through the roof when we added this item. I
Doing a
think
little good.
she was pretty good in previous metas, even back at the World Championship. She was a top pick for sure. So adding an item made her probably over the top, but as well, we're
normal
bringing
on her looks
down,
better? You mean like the base
especially
skin?
her passive, a little less protection, so a little less tanky in the early game, especially. And then she was very, very quick. She still will be quicker than other
Bro,
guys.
she's
because of that
fast as
passive, but
fuck. She's not
about
quick.
3% per stack now,
Yeah.
2.5%.
Increase
top of that, though, we got
cooldown,
shield bash
decrease
coming up in cooldown
damage.
to make
That's
sure
a
you
bu-
get
that's
little
a
less
that's
frequent
honestly
relief on
a
those.
lot of nerfs. I
And then
didn't
Scourge,
expect.
just her poke in general doing a little bit
Basically
less damage, a
four
little bit
fucking
less
nerfs.
extra clear as well. So slowing her down on kind of all accounts.
No, Lunar, I
Right,
cannot.
Healing it back in a little bit.
And we have the Equinox nerf on top of it as well. So
Yeah.
pretty significant nerfs for Bologna overall, but that just creates more room for other gods.
That's true. Open the door for other opportunity. So next on the list, we have Neath.
This is kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy.
This is Neath's first ever nerf.
Ever.
Like, ever?
Like ever.
Literally ever.
Like 11 years of Smite ever?
Yeah, she's never had a nerf. This is her first nerf.
Well, welcome to history, everybody.
Yeah.
I was here in the chat.
Wow.
That's actually kind of wild.
Does indeed
First
build the
ever
Odins,
Neath nerf, and
Transcendence,
she's
et
OG
cetera
as
build.
fuck.
And she has just been kind of the dominant mid laner for a hot minute here. So we are taking backflip, her main escape, up and cooldown, just a smidge, a little bit less safe. And then really
Yeah,
the,
this
the
is
big
fucked
sticking point
because
for this Neath
Bluestone
nerf
is
going
the
to be
problem.
The nerf to World Waver, which, you know, if she's going to be able to shoot anyone in the
Like,
world,
yeah, her
maybe she
ult's
should be a bit
frustrating, but
closer
her
to
ult is
global
counterable so
cooldown
easily.
timer
Like,
with
your
the
tank eats it
ultimate,
great.
and then of course it's just doing quite a lot of damage, so bringing that down as well by 10%.
They
This
nerfed
will be
her
pretty
3,
significant,
which
especially towards the late
oh,
game.
she's not as
You will
safe
be
now,
feeling
but
it
she
before
doesn't
you
need to
stand
be
up. I'm
in
sorry,
aggressive
It's
positioning.
getting nerfed for the first time ever, but it's got to happen.
Bound to happen eventually, yeah. And this is on top of the Transcendence nerf and Jotun's nerf as well. So pretty significant nerfs for a very top performer in the mid lane,
Yeah.
or just the top performer as an ability hunter in general.
If I would have known we were here for that part of history, I'd have worn a suit or something. Huh? All right, well.
Now she gets duality, so can you really complain? You know?
That's true. There's a lot of good change too.
I don't know that duality
Hachi's up
items is
next.
good,
What's
bro.
going on with Hachi?
Yes, Hachi has just been kind of a staple of the duo lane. and
I
feel like we've said
agree with this.
before. I feel
Hachi's
like I've
so
got a little
basic
deja
and
vu
so
right now,
good
but
all
he
the
just
time.
doesn't seem to want to go. He's just
kinda
chilling.
feel like
you know,
his
he's got
ult's
a
OP
lot
though.
of benefits for him, right? Because he is just a very safe hunter, doesn't run out of mana. He's just kind of
Everything you want.
a
really.
staple. You know, he does everything pretty good. Master of Arms, though, we're going to be taking down that duration. That's his passive from 8 seconds to 6 seconds, so a little bit less time for your attack speed and mana. Eagle Eye is also
trying to hit
getting
his auto
decreased
attack damage
scaling,
between
and the
his
cooldown's
passive and his
going up.
one.
And then on top of that, Heavenly Banner, just a little bit less damage, a little bit less consistent
Oh
clear
shit.
and poke.
Okay, never mind.
But
It's
just
5
kind of hitting
damage.
every
I thought that was.
element
That
of
I mean,
Hachi. That
hitting
kind of,
3 nerfs and 4 nerfs
you
on these
know,
gods
what
is
makes him
surprising.
Right. So
be a little bit stronger than everybody else.
Yeah, like I said, right now.
So
it
that's a
gives
2
you everything you kind of
losing
want, so
5
it just
overall
brings
damage.
everything down by 1 notch, so he's a little bit more balanced. And that's the intention.
That makes
Across
sense.
the board.
Nice and easy.
That 5 damage is probably like
next
not
up,
clearing
seeing
at level
the
2 or
game
something.
once,
Or 3.
Guan Yu getting a
Yes.
little shake.
We're on the buffs now.
We're on the buffs now?
Guan Yu, kind of the antithesis of a basic attack warrior.
Yeah,
just not at all. So we figured that it would be a good time for him to make another reappearance. And so we're just doing a couple nice buffs across the board here. So a little bit of extra physical protections going into the lane for his abilities to come online.
The
He has
thing
to take
is,
or deal
they
damage,
buff
right? So
Guan, but
he's
that
gotta
Guardian
be in the midst
item
of the
that
fight,
does
which means,
damage
you
on
know, he
ability
is going to be
cast,
just
like,
eaten
is a
too much.
direct
So we're just going to make that damage hurt a little bit
counter
less.
to
On top of
Guan.
that,
Like, it's
mana
good
cost a
against
little bit high
Guan being in the game.
considering, you know, how much he's spamming him. So Warrior's Will is getting a decreased mana cost from 60 to 80 to just 50 at all ranks. That's going to feel real nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's going to be nice. Talu Assault also kind of getting a similar vibe, except it's just 5 at all ranks. And then Cavalry Charge just getting a couple increased damage bops on it, 10 at all ranks. Gonna feel very nice to run people down with the horse.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm most excited about from this change as well is the mana reductions, because previously his mana costs were at a point, then he used his abilities so often that his mana cost in general was at a point that he needed to buy these mana based items like Breastplate or maybe even Transcendence. He almost had a requirement to buy Black Thorns, which we are buffing this patch, but now maybe he can get away with just buying a Glad Shield and not having to have a mana item, but just the mana buff. So maybe increasing some build diversity there, but also just alleviating the
Guan
pressure.
is
He
annoying,
generally a
but
lower pressure
is
god.
he gonna be
if you
good
lose your first blue
enough
buff, it's not the end of the world.
with
Your
these
abilities cost
changes?
less mana now. And if you do
Guan's a
manage to get on
fucking
top of
annoying
somebody
god to
with
have
that
in the
force,
meta.
It's actually one of the highest damaging abilities in the game.
Yeah.
You can just hit every hit.
Like,
Every
that's
hit.
the other part. You got to hit every
Yeah, if you
have to
hit
hit
every
let's-
hit now, it's
let's not
really
like-
gonna hurt
oh,
them.
let's not talk like hitting
hopefully,
Guan's ult
see a bit
fully
more
is
plays in this
difficult.
whole lane.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be cool.
It's
I
just
think
whether or
it's
not they have
important
their leap or dash up.
reiterate with it is it looks like 10 damage and 185 isn't
adds up.
that much. That's every single swing, and
Yeah,
that keeps
every
amplifying up as you keep hitting more and more of it. So that's 50, 60 plus damage that's going to be going up throughout the
It
course
will
of the
definitely
swing.
be adding up.
It's going to hurt.
Even if you're not hitting the same person, you hit into a team fight, you're driving around
Frankie, you
whacking
can't play Guan.
everybody. You're just distributing all of that damage throughout a
Yeah, it's
whole
a big
team.
AoE
So,
as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So cool. So next up, we have the scary Scorpion Circuit changes.
Yes, this is going to be a set of exciting changes. I'm sure we have a lot of individuals that are going to love this change. But Circuit is a character that we thought was going to be really good in the crit meta at the beginning of the year. Wasn't actually that good in the crit meta. Has fallen off a cliff since then. She is just missing in action at this point.
Completely.
Huh.
So we've got a couple nice buffs here for her, including some base health and health per level. Just the fact that she has to get the heck in there to do basically all of her abilities, on top of the fact that she really is mostly single target, puts her at quite a bit of a disadvantage compared to other characters, and she just had a quite low health pool considering that exception. So that's the first part. This next part, exciting stuff. Ambush.
They
It's back.
reverted
It's
it.
so
It's back.
65
They
range
reverted
returns
it.
to ambush. Welcome back, Circuit. You're going to be able to get over more walls now, which is going to feel really nice. On top of that,
Why they
though,
ever
last
nerfed in the
threat
first
is
place?
going
We'll
from
never know.
120% damage scaling to 130%. This was kind of, even though it's true damage,
but I don't
it
care.
was not really
Okay, this
doing
isn't enough
all
to
that
bring
much
her back,
damage. It was
though.
more so used for the
Like,
debuff
where's
and
the part that makes her
movement,
good?
the force movement on enemies more so than the actual
That
damage
3
itself,
is a
and the
quality of
poison,
life change
course,
that
too,
should
yeah.
have never been
But,
taken away in the first
this
place.
doing a little bit of extra damage on its own, especially scaling off of damage. It's going to feel really nice for Circuit players.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get
what we
40
saw
more
as well
damage
is
on
that
my ult.
Sometimes people were buying 1 or 2 tank items on Circuit, so you have less power anyway. So now you get more out of the power that you do have, and perhaps with the slightly increased health pool, you'll have to buy maybe 1 less defensive item.
Is
than
that
you did
it?
before.
Yeah, focus on being an offensive scary Scorpion.
If that's it compared to everything else I've just seen, that is fucking
All right,
embarrassing.
Cool. So Tara up next.
Okay, Circuit's
Love
the exact
Tara.
same.
What's
She
happening
didn't get
with Tara?
changed at all. That's
So
crazy.
Tara's an interesting case because we did just do an update to her.
Which I thought was going to go
Yeah.
Was
crazy.
pretty cool.
I thought that was
Yeah,
going to
that
be
was,
crazy.
That was a big
Yeah.
change.
It turned out to not really change her.
Tara's
all that
problem
much,
is she's a
if at all.
skill shot god that
So
people
in
can't
general,
fucking
she
play
has
because they
just
can't hit her
not
too.
done very well at all. So we've got a lot of really fun changes here for her. First being Crushing Earth mana cost is going down by just 10
Holy
ranks. It's gonna be a
fuck,
nice
they
little
doubled
early
the
game boon
heal.
for her to be able to spam those stuns a little
They
bit more
doubled her
frequently. You know,
3
if you
heal.
miss it, not a big deal. Not that much mana wasted anymore.
And
Monolith
her
also
ult
getting
has no
increased heal, which is
cooldown.
going to be nice as well for the assault gamers. Yeah, it's getting a very nice increase here, basically doubling at all ranks. So that's going to feel
Holy
very nice for your
fuck.
sustain both in lane.
All right,
and,
wait,
you know,
wait.
if you want to use it for sustain
They
in between
doubled their
fights as well,
monolith
that is another
healing.
option. But I think the craziest
And her
change here
ult lost
is this
20.
very final one. Earth and Fury decreased cooldown from
Holy
90 at all
shit.
ranks, scaling from 90 to 70 seconds.
That's 20
Late
seconds.
game monster,
Tara's
ladies
back.
and gentlemen.
30 fucking
Tara
40
is
second
back.
cooldown with max
20
cooldown.
seconds is a long time for an ult, especially.
Yes.
Yeah, I think one thing I want to really encourage Terra players to do more is just to press that ultimate more, because it's actually
just get
really
out there.
good offensively as well, and your teammates will react to when you press your ultimate. A lot of Terra players, when they're newer to Terra at least, they use it as a reactionary tool, like, oh, I'm getting dove on, or my teammate's getting dove on, I'm going to ult for them.
Terra
I think
solo,
if you ult
maybe?
earlier in a team
Especially
fight, you'll
since
actually
it
find
seems like they
a lot
want
more
Guardians to be
uses
played
out of
over
his
there.
ultimate. So be more
Those
brave with that
items.
ultimate. It's on a lower cooldown now in the later game, so you can press more, and even if it's wasted sometimes, that's okay. It's coming up again sooner. So
Yeah.
just in general, use it more.
Dude,
and
supports
find
are
more
gonna
creative ways
cook
to use it.
using
He's
that
a brilliant
item
coach. You can trust what he says.
as a
Well,
their
that's
one
successful.
damage item.
Nah, it counts. You're balancing now. You know.
I think that new item is gonna be
Right,
fucking
so-
OP for supports.
So now we're getting to one of my favorite mages.
I still
anyway,
can't get over that
personally.
Sir Cat
That's the Merlin
change
change
being
we talked about.
Now
irrelevant.
this is going to look strange, and I understand completely.
Good, strong.
There's no world we're
Merlin
buffing
is
Merlin.
a character that many people perceive to be just fine. Just, you know, he
He's
does everything
good.
he
He's
needs to
not
do.
just
He's
fine.
very
It's shitters
standard.
can't play
Never
him.
really a bad character.
He has
Never
a
really,
higher
you know,
skill
a
cap.
broken character. Sometimes he's just good. But here's the thing. Merlin's a hard character.
Yes.
And so that makes his win rate naturally pretty low.
So
But
then
here's
why
the
are we
thing.
buffing his
Win
damage?
rate is much lower than
Why don't we
normal.
quality
What
of
it should
life
be.
him and make him easier
Like
to play?
exceedingly so. Like he's probably one of the least winningest gods in the game, period,
Oof,
right now.
okay.
So we understand that he can be a little scary at times. So what we're doing here is we're doing a couple smaller changes. So first up is Overload, going to
Just
be getting
make
more
him
damage. This is
easier to
passive.
play.
So this is
If
for
he's
those
difficult to
players
play,
that
why
are
make his
weaving the
damage do
basics
more?
in between abilities, a little bit of extra buff damage as well. If
The
you
people
want
that
a little
don't
bit of
think he's
extra
difficult to
poke,
play, now we're
if
gonna
you're able to weave
fucking
those autos in. But
roll
yes,
everybody.
Just a little bit more damage on that. That's gonna feel nice. Moving on to
It's not even-
Radiate. This is the
Okay.
one in Fire Stance. More cooldown for you, so you're going to be able to use that more often. 16 seconds is kind of crazy to be, you know, if you ever switch to this in the early ranks before you're able to, you know, get the cooldown lower.
He
on
is
your
not
switch stance.
unplayable
It is
early
really
game.
bad to
You're
be
not-
waiting
what
on
do you
two
mean?
abilities that are 6
First of all, he's not
minutes,
supposed to
15 seconds.
fight.
Not a good feeling.
He's a clear
So
god.
We're not making it
He
any
has
lower
an
at high
optimal
end when
clear.
you're actually feeling
He's
good.
not a
You've got
W
Merlin
key
online.
god. Every
We're
god
just
isn't meant to
making it
fucking
lower
fight.
At the early game stages.
There's a
so
lot
you're
of
not
gods in the
stuck
game that
for
cannot
so
fight
long with
in their
abilities
first
that
4
you
levels.
switch from.
Just the fire stance as well.
Yes, just Fire Stance.
Just for fire.
And that's it. That's Merlin. We're good.
We're good. We did it. All right, another M-related god, Medusa, up next. Also seeing a little bit.
Yes, this is an exciting one. A little bit flavorful too, in a way.
Yeah.
We were looking at
That
Medusa's
is
stats, and she
interesting.
is on the lower end of things.
They
You know,
buffed
she's
the
not
fuck out of her too.
awful, horrible, you know,
And she's
horrendous.
fast
but she
as
hasn't really
shit.
seen a whole lot of play. She's not very popular outside of, you know, a specific.
All right,
crowd.
Mindy's
So
coming
we're like,
back,
what is-
boys.
what's going on? So the first thing that we're doing is we're actually giving her a buff to her general movement speed, and this we feel like is really cool just thematically.
Yeah.
Because her passive Sidewinder also interacts with this, so it's going
Medusa
to
might
be a bit
actually
more
clear
evasive,
now
a
with her
bit
too,
more
yeah.
aggressive if you want to be, or even just a bit more defensive.
Not-
because we know
I don't
she
think
does
it'll
struggle
clear
there when
without
Master
blue
Rank gets
stun,
caught
though,
on
right?
things. She kind of can get
Or
stuck.
rank 3. Maybe
It's
rank
not
3
going to,
will
you know,
clear. I don't know.
change the world for her, but it's
Yeah.
going to be nice. It'll feel nice. And then beyond that, of course, Acid Spray is her, you know, standard clearing ability, poking ability. It just isn't keeping up though compared to a lot of other characters, so we're taking the cooldown down and giving it just a bit more damage.
That's correct. Yeah, I think when we were looking at this god as well, we had to keep in mind that duality was coming in this patch as well. So we
Yes.
didn't want to just buff this god like crazy and then
She does
add
use
duality,
duality
as
very well.
so now if you buy duality on Medusa with these small buffs, you'll actually feel like a much more enhanced god.
Nice.
Yeah.
And good forethought. Crazy how many different things to think of when you're balancing. You're like,
They
well,
are
releasing
trying to
this
make
item.
a hybrid build or
Seems like
something.
a
but
symphony
I
of
don't think
ideas,
that's
but,
possible without.
So we're moving back into the
full cooldown.
Guardian terrain, one of my favorite places to talk, and Maui is getting some changes.
Yeah, the boy Maui.
The boy.
He just got some buffs, but it didn't change anything for him, unfortunately. So we're doing a lot stronger buffs here, and a lot of these are very, very exciting. So
These are
first up,
kinda
we've got the
big, bro.
passive Maniakalani, and so this is going to be, you know,
Andy's about to be
essentially
happy
the
with
aura
this shit.
around you that is checking for when enemies are getting CC'd. It's now a bigger radius, so if you're a little bit too far away to get it right off the bat, you can now get it a little bit easier. It gives you more of that range to actually get in there and pick up that passive more frequently.
Nice.
Finally, comma, Master Fisherman no longer has a slow. It feels so good now, you guys. It feels really, really good.
At full speed, you can get
Oh,
them
Full
that's so
speed
cool.
yoink.
faster.
You're actually not pulling people that much faster because of that. And on top of that, we're also increasing the vortex strength by about 15%. It's kind of hard to measure. Those numbers aren't really like public facing, so it's hard to like
They
say,
did buff
hey
Cupid,
guys,
bro.
the
They gave you
vortex
that
changed by this
dualities
number," and
item.
Everyone goes, I don't know what that means. So just trust me,
I don't know how that
15%,
shit's gonna
a
work
little bit,
for you.
it's gonna feel nice. A little bit stronger pulls, a little bit more control for Maui where that pull is going as well.
Exactly what I was about to say. In general, both of these changes combined for Master Fisherman, it feels like you have much more control over your opponent, and you can actually put them where you want them to be at whenever you want them to be there.
Pretty sure
Not
even if
put
that
yourself in
duality
front of
items
Chris
is
either.
Exactly.
able to be built, you build it
Yeah, we got
dead
more though. We're
last.
not
It'll be
done.
the last item.
More.
Mystical Alua, this is the 2. So, the cooldown for this ability is going down, and believe me, this is an exciting thing for this ability
2
because
seconds off?
even
Holy
now
fuck.
at max cooldown, you're going to be able to kind of refresh that buff super easily. So it's really just going to be the early game where you're going to have a little bit more access to it, a little bit more time to use those tools, that movement speed, etc. Just more chances.
90 seconds
to do cool
already.
things
This,
with the ability.
this is gonna make
And
Maui one of the better supports.
Finally,
It's back.
it's back.
Maui and Terra
Pinfall
should be
at
cracked.
90 seconds. Get yoinked.
Honestly, that's a lie because you're still gonna have Sobek, Bacchus
That's
being
one of
really
my favorite
good.
ults in the game. Yeah, just absolutely incredible to use. and
Definitely
see.
better though.
You heard it.
I changed the name of the ability, actually. We can
Just
call it
yoink?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just change the whole description.
Yoink.
Yeah. Yoinks.
Just yoink.
You have a status effect when you get hit, got yoinked. So it's this whole thing. We're working on it. So Ymir is here up next.
Speaking of him being here, he's here in Smite 2 as well.
Whoa.
And one
he is.
change that came to Smite 2 that we definitely wanted
They
to
only
consider
brought
for
the
Smite 1. We
2
did the camera
changeover
unlock
from Smite
previously,
2?
but
What about
now
the 3?
Ymir is able to rotate
Yes.
when using Glacial Strike. He's not able to move like in Smite 2. We had a couple
Oh.
extra restrictions, you know,
Oh,
just
so it
due
sucks.
to the way that our framework is working right now on
This
Smite
is
1.
dog shit.
But essentially, Ymir can now rotate while in the pre-fire of Glacial Strike, so you can start the ability and then turn and re-aim and follow and track
Nice,
where
you can
enemy,
slightly
enemies are
re-aim.
going to, and,
That's
yeah,
cool,
just feels
but that's
way
not
more
gonna
fluid.
make him
I
good.
love it.
That's just one of those changes. Just nice and easy. Like, feels good. Love that. So moving forward, Hera, Royal Assault.
Speaking of feels good, Hera, a character that has been kind of missing unless your name's Dardes, which mine isn't. So I don't know about you guys.
It's true.
But this character has had kind of a quirk about her where Royal Assault has the Argus hands kind of come together. And when they come together, there's this nice little area where you deal bonus damage as Hera. But here's the thing. You're never really going to be able to hit that on purpose because it's so small. So small. It's basically 6 units across, and the average god is like
12.
way smaller than that, like five across,
Oh, right.
essentially. So yeah, essentially you are hitting the god perfectly or you're not hitting them at all, which is not ideal for Hera. So we're basically increasing that area by 50%, so it's going from about 6 to about 12.
Unless there's
units
more
across.
changes here, this is
So the
irrelevant.
targeter is also updated as well, so you're going to be able to see that in game
In the middle
to
of it.
know exactly where that area is going to be. But yeah, essentially it's going to make it a lot easier for Hera to intentionally get this double hit damage. We're not actually buffering that damage, so the damage is still going to be exactly the
Easier to
same,
hit.
just
Yeah.
easier to hit.
Maybe even multiple targets.
Ooh.
Ooh, you're getting spicy over here.
Yeah.
All right. So last but not least, in this particular category of changes, Osiris.
Yes, Osiris. We understand that he is
Performer.
We
a
understand.
top performer.
We get it.
However, we didn't want to hold back a cool change just because he's a top performer.
That's right.
So Spirit Flail is an ability that you could not cast into a wall. So if the ability was over 50% of the way into the wall, it would not allow you to cast it. This is kind of inconvenient around a couple of spots if you're trying to aim
Quality of
over a
life
wall
change.
or something next
Yeah.
to a wall. Like talk about
That's
Fire
fine.
Giant is another thing that makes it a little bit difficult to use this ability around. Essentially, you can just fire it inside of walls now. Yes,
These
that
kind of
does
things
mean
should have
that,
been
you know,
obvious.
certain players could go fire it
Like,
off
this
in a
shit should have been
Timbuktu,
set up
and
like this
honestly,
in the
that's
first
a risk
place.
that we are willing to accept because it just feels so much nicer to not have to worry about.
This isn't
is my
above,
ability
it's just
halfway
quality
in
of
the wall?
life.
My
Like, the
ability,
times where you
didn't
couldn't
go
use
off.
your
It just
ability,
does
now
not
you
feel
can.
very clunky anymore, and it feels great.
That's right.
Another one of those. Y'all have been cranking out those classic
Feels.
changes that feel good. So love to see it. But we're nowhere near done with changes. We have a good few more to talk about here. But now we're shifting categories a little bit.
Turn it
So,
up a notch, I suppose.
Yeah, we were in kind of the general balance zone.
Yeah, that said regular.
This,
Let's-
that's a
let's
regular.
Turn it up.
This one says major. So let's talk major god balance, and we'll start with Olarin.
Yeah, so I guess to kind of preamble why we're talking about all
Please preamble.
we generally looked across the board and saw which characters are unpopular and which characters are bad. Who's not winning and who does nobody want to
Wait.
play. And unfortunately, Olarin ended up in that category
They-
as
so
one
they
of
buffed-
the kind of premier
they
like,
buffed
hunter picks
Bancroft,
that just
buffed
were
the
not hitting the mark
upgraded
for
auto
one reason or
attack
another, right?
Bancroft,
We kind of wanted to
buffed
address
the
them case
fucking
by case
ring.
as to who was coming up, and Olarin came up again for a variety of reasons.
I
which we'll
wonder
get
if there's
into.
gonna be a
But first up,
power
we're doing
build
a
where
lot
you
of
can hit
changes
it
to Touch
perfectly.
of Fate, which is his passive.
There has to
So,
be,
the
where
first
you can get
exciting thing
100%
you're gonna
crit.
see is that the cap of critical strike is going from 70% to 100%.
Ooh.
I can now guarantee crits as Olaran. That's pretty sick.
That's pretty nutty.
And we're also increasing the damage from critical strikes for
Okay.
Olaran from 30% to 40%.
He's actually gonna be cracked. There's no way he's not cracked.
Olaran does less crit damage than a standard physical crit. Now he's doing a little bit closer to that, but still will do less.
Still slightly less, yeah.
Yes, to kind of compensate for this, the power requirement for him to get critical strike is also going up just a little bit. It's only increasing the total power that you need by a small amount. Again, you still get 20% off the bat once you get 100 power, but you're gonna need a bit more power to build into that to get to the full crit. So again, we're not intending everybody on Olaran to always get 100%
You need
crit.
900
You
power,
can
right?
build
Or no,
into
no, no.
100% crit now if you want to. It's not free
Wait.
100%. You gotta make the choice.
You
to
need
build
900
into it.
power?
That's right. I think to wrap up the changes to his passive in general, now that you have basically two build paths, right? You can go all the rings, you could just generally lower power, you can attack fast, and you still probably get around 70 or just above 70% crit, plus the increased crit you're getting from each one.
Spectral's just not good, so it
but
doesn't
if you wanted
matter.
to build into a higher power build,
Yeah,
and
I don't know if
guarantee
Spectral
those
works on
crits
all
and
that.
see those bigger numbers, then you can have that option.
No, it
as
shouldn't be
well.
1K because
So it
100
opens
power
up
gives you
those opportunities
20%.
for you.
So you gotta get
Up
80%.
next, we've got
Or
Focus Light, which
should be
is
800 power,
1.
should be 900.
And this is going to essentially have a new feature, which now gains increased damage dealt the longer you charge it up to a maximum of 20% increased damage when you fully charge it. So
What?
this ability, you previously would charge it to increase the range and the width, which felt nice. But one of the intuitive things that I think a
They're
lot of people
making
miss
him
is that it does
fucking
the same
broken.
amount
He
of
hasn't been in the meta for
no
like
longer.
6
You do more
months, so they're
damage
making
now.
him broken.
So the longer you charge it, the more that you spend, the more payoff you get, other than just the range and the width.
This is a fun one because if you really hit those fully charged long range ones that are just all the way down the lane, now you get that bigger payoff and you can see that bigger crit. So I think it's a really good feels change. Will help your clear on the archers especially a little bit because you can charge it up longer if you're standing back from your wave and just the end of your one is hitting those archers. They should die, depending on your build of course, but they should die more often than they were before.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, just a small buff on top of it. Consecration, this is his 3, is getting a decreased cooldown from 14 seconds to 12
I feel like this is a
seconds.
really
Just
big
little bit
deal.
more peel ability for Olaran here.
On top of the
survivability,
items,
more
I feel like
healing.
this
It's very
is
balanced.
like this should spike him
Overall,
up a
a lot
lot
of changes, a lot of cool stuff
towards
to
the
see
top.
He feels really
His
good to
ult's
play
still
now.
probably
In a
the best
somewhat
ult.
recent playtest I
Team
ran
fight
with
ult
C lane,
overall in
one of
the
the
game.
problems with him is, you feel like you have
That's
to
never
expend your
changed.
one
It's just on
sometimes
such a
to clear,
long
so people
cooldown.
might get, I'm going to max my second ability instead. I, for the sake of the test, just started maxing out my first ability, and you're able to full clear.
How
if
much
you get a
power
full
do you
charge
get with
pretty early in. I'm not
Bancrofts,
going to say it's like immediate, but usually about like
Typhons,
rank 4, rank
and
5,
the
you get a
rings?
little bit of charge up. You're going to start full clearing the archers at the
Obviously
lead.
not Telkine.
And it's also just really good poke. I mean, that 20% doesn't sound like a whole lot. Until you get 20%,
Then
and
starter,
then now the
you'd have to go
bonus
on mage
40%
starter. You
crit
wouldn't
that
be
comes on
going
top of it. So if you can land one of those
the
crits,
AA starter.
it's good. And also kind of speaking on the passive, like your kind of
So then a
standard
red
build
pot,
that you would do before get you up to
and
that
then a fire
70%
giant.
crit. It's not a
You're
big deal.
probably
You're right
never
there.
hitting 100%
Now that gives
chance, but
you
you're gonna be up
almost
there.
about another 10% roughly. As far as your build goes, so it's not a massive increase, but you are going to feel the extra crit chance coming through now.
Yeah. And one more thing on top of that as well. If you remember way back early into the show, it feels like an hour ago now, we also buffed Cyclopean Ring and the Nimble Bancroft
Yeah.
as well. So those are two items.
He's
that
gonna
you can build.
cook, bro.
So all of that coming together, one of these gods that was just not favored at all, was not all that popular. And
Oh, every 12 power is 2% crit? Oh, you're right. That's my bad.
All of this
I thought it was 1% crit. So yeah, you're only going to need like 500-600 power.
Yeah, see a little bit of the return. Awesome. Well, to continue moving down, a god that has always held a special place in my heart, Mulan, getting a little love here.
Yeah, Mulan. She is here as well. So grapple.
Okay.
This change is very, very in the same vein
So
to
you're
the
not
changes that we
locked
did
in on
with Ymir
grapple?
earlier in the show and Hercules last patch.
Feels good. Okay.
That's
It is a feels good change
actually
where Mulan may
a
now
big
rotate
quality of
during
life change.
Fire of grapple. So you're
That's
aiming the
pretty
bow.
awesome.
You don't have
You
to
can still aim it
pre-aim.
the whole time.
That's right. Hit those
Yep.
trick shots.
You
as
don't
well.
have to pre-aim anymore. You have to shoot where they were going to be, not where they were.
Absolutely.
Important that you try. That's okay.
And then on top of that, we've got Divine Mastery. This is her ultimate. Mulan is now no longer required to hit an enemy god to use the knock-up and projectile portions of this ability. So you can use it to gain ground now if you want to.
Oh,
You
nice.
don't have
That's
to go
really
through a
big.
god to be able to poke them for further
That's
away.
really
It feels
big.
really nice
These
to
are
have
quality.
the
These quality life
extra
changes are huge. I don't think they make her
utility
better in the
of
late game,
those CCs and not have to worry about being
but
on
they
top
are
of
quality
someone.
life changes.
Makes your choices much more dynamic. In reality, if the way you could look at it this as well, if you wanted to engage a fight as Mulan and they're 70, 80 yards away from you, you can ult forward, not even be in range of hitting anybody, but then you get the next part of your ultimate. So you can ult forward and then knock them up in the distance as well to help your team engage. Same way on the back out as well. You can ult out of a team fight, turn around, knock them up, and then run away. Even if you're not hitting people with that first part of the ultimate, you still get the subsequent parts. And obviously, you still have your opportunity to cancel it if you just want to right-click out of it on PC.
Yeah.
Feel free to do that, but it just adds more dynamic options for the way think about this ult when you're playing gods,
Yeah.
when you're playing Mulan and playing against Mulan.
Yeah, a lot of times you think about taking like restrictions from the abilities away, decreasing skill expression, but this honestly
This was actually
has
in the
increased it
game.
quite a
Her
lot.
ult changed.
Exactly,
This
yeah.
wasn't in the game.
And I
You
I feel
don't
like
have
for
to
me
hit a
that
god
removes a
now
feels
to
bad
knock up.
case that used to happen where you're in a fight and you throw your
Currently
ult out,
in the game,
and
you have
feel
to
assured
hit
you're
a
about to
god,
hit
or you
somebody,
will just
and then you
end
do
the
the
ult.
dash and you don't get any.
You
of the
won't knock
other
anybody
portions,
up.
and you're like,
What is
I
that?
don't understand how I missed that, but we're in this team fight.
was
I've blown
bugged?
my ult already.
I just
like,
played
don't
her.
get the other two components, so I love that a lot because it removes.
Okay, well, it
kind of
wasn't
that
bugged
feels
every game
bad,
'cause I just played her, and that
ripped,
was not
that's my
happening.
fault type scenario. You
I
can
played
still
her when
turn around and get
after
used to
Smite
it
2
again.
ended, the first
So,
night.
Super great to hear.
Later Sunday.
This next one, definitely a little fun. We get Fafnir up with some changes.
Yeah, Fafnir definitely has fallen in the category of the unpopular,
Yeah, very much so.
underperforming.
Not quite doing
Poor
it. right
fella,
now.
poor fella.
Poor fella.
What?
But we've got a couple exciting things here for Fafnir. So
One
Fafnir is
gold per
agreeing with
enemy
that.
god hit with
So
his
what we're doing
abilities?
is giving endless
Does
greed
this
a
two
brand
count?
new effect, which is Fafnir now gains 1 gold per enemy god hit with his abilities. And then on top of that, during his ultimate, Fafnir gains 2 gold instead.
Bro, he's
Because,
gonna
I mean,
print.
let's think about it. Is he really just fighting you to fight you? No, he wants your gold, man. He wants you for your gold.
Getting
That's
into
What
it.
if he
Pocket
stole the gold? That would
So
be fucked.
essentially, this is a once per ability per target. So if you are, hitting everyone with coerce, you're only ever gonna get 1 proc of this. You're not getting infinite money, every time your allies are spamming
So his
somebody
2
with
does
basic
proc
attacks
it.
or whatever it might be.
So
You
he can
only
get 3
ever
extra
get
gold
up to
every,
5,
10, 15
gold
seconds?
in your dwarf form and 10 gold in your dragon form from 1 ability cast if they hit everything. But they have to, essentially get active to get more gold. So
I mean,
he's definitely going
it's
to
like
have
a
that
ward.
extra
You
gold.
We
hit
talked about
50
this topic a
abilities,
lot
you get a
on the
ward.
last Patch No Show a month ago, where we just want to get people back into the action, fighting more
Yeah.
often, and just the real fun part of the game, right? No matter the game mode, start fighting other gods. That's the fun part. His old passive, well, it's the same passive, but this is just an added point. It was just all about being around the minions when they died, clearing those, making sure you get that extra gold. Now you can be around or you do the same thing, you still get that same amount of gold, but now you can also not feel punished by going to fight enemy gods because you're missing out on farm. Now you could even build a bunch of cooldown, hit gods more often, get gold more often, and ult more often to hit gods for double the gold. Like it just adds another way to think about playing the same character, which is really fun.
Yeah, you get
So
to
this
change
dude can
that
only
back
proc
to your
once.
grind set. You can either be the minions or the gods. You have
Oh, it would only be 1 or 2
I know
gold,
there's
depending
I know there's
on
another
if you're in your
point
ult or
too,
not.
but we can dive in game to kind of show. These are good ones to showcase.
Yes,
This
is
is-
a
Yeah,
nice
for
one
sure.
to showcase.
So as we talk about this,
There's
next
no
one,
world we're
so, yeah,
showcasing
boy
this.
Fafnir, you can see
Everyone
him making
understands.
money.
You hit a fucking ability, you get 1 gold, bro.
See that
There it
1
is,
gold?
1 gold.
Yep, 1 gold, baby. That's right. We are getting money.
We are making.
No, crazy.
But on
That's
top of that, we did want to talk
insane.
about the other
Wild.
change that we did to Fafnir here, which you might
Wait,
have
it's
seen
giving
on
it every
screen a
time he
little bit
autos.
earlier. Draconic Corruption. You
Hold
go
on,
into this
hold on,
ability the same way you
hold on,
always did.
hold on.
But if you are
Hold
leaving
on.
Draconic Corruption,
This
you
dude
get
was only
out
supposed to proc once.
approximately 20% faster. So if we can get a little D-transform here.
Wait.
It does always kind of suck to like
Wait.
watch yourself die
Wait.
as Fafnir as you're coming out of the ultimate.
You know your
because-
ult's gonna run out, and then it does. Then all of a sudden, there's a Poseidon whirlpool, and you know a Kraken's coming.
Oh, it's once
Yep,
per
they're just
god?
waiting for you to be CCable again. So you are getting
Wait,
a
so
bit
he
of a
can print
trade-off,
2
right? You're
gold
not
every time
gonna
he
be keeping
twos?
that CC immunity for as
Or
long,
4 if he's in ult?
But you do get to get back in the action a lot faster.
Wait,
So
that's
it
just
is
in lane.
nice in some ways, and it's a fair trade-off. I feel like to let Fafnir kind of get in there and not feel so bad about leaving his dragon form, because one of the nicest things about Fafnir is being in the dragon form.
That's right.
But you never want to leave.
What the
Now it's a little
fuck?
bit less bad when you feel like you gotta go.
Yeah, you
Team
get out
fights,
quicker,
he's gonna come out of
you get
team
back
fight
in
with so
quicker
much
later.
extra gold.
So, super cool. I love. That's the type of mini game.
I thought it just procced 1 time period, not once per
That is
god.
something that I will
He's
get
just gonna
into
go
the
around
game, I'll be
tooing
like,
himself
alright,
and whacking
the goal
people.
for this game, get bread.
Yeah, we found that a lot. In fact, old Teleria boots used to be this way as well. Or maybe they were called something else. I can't remember exactly what they were, but you would get gold when you would hit a target. This is a similar thing. We saw it with Prophetic Cloak as well. When you hit a god, you get
We
a
love
stack of that.
minigames.
And everybody really loves these mini games of getting in combat and fighting other gods. So we hope that Fafnir players like it especially.
I think it's a good change. Personally, we'll obviously wait to hear what y'all say, but I'm all about it for my boy.
No, I
So
think if he
next up,
twos his team, it
Ishal.
still gives him the gold.
Yeah, Ishal is a relatively recent addition to
Yeah.
the
Oh,
roster of gods.
fuck,
It's
this is
almost
scary.
A year now, which is kind of crazy to think about. But
Yeah, it's a construct.
holy crap!
Alright.
Anyway, Ishal, great end. This ability has definitely been the most
You heal
contentious
yourself
when, it comes
when
to
healing
discussion around Ishal.
creeps
So
or
one
gods?
thing that Ishal previously did
Oh,
not
enemy
do that
gods.
she now does is when she
Doesn't
hits
he
an
have to
enemy god
stand
with
in
this
it?
ability, even if she's not hitting an allied god, she will now heal.
She's just gonna
This
heal for
ability
healing
is
other people.
way more useful.
She's a buff bot.
In those one-on-one situations where you're not able to, have an ally around and try to balance between them. That part's always challenging. And then on top of that, ability to hit an enemy and heal, you will also still be able to hit an ally and heal. You can do those both, but they don't stack on each other, so it's always the same amount of healing, no matter if you're hitting enemy, ally, or both.
Never mind.
Doesn't matter, same amount of healing.
All right, so she's just
additionally,
healing
we also fixed
no
an
matter
issue
what
where this
now,
ability was slightly
but
too
it's the same
narrow.
amount of healing.
So hard to hit.
That's fine.
Again, it's still hard to hit, but it's a little bit more as intended
accurate
to
to the
be, more
targeter.
accurate to the targeter, and it just feels way better. I can say that it just feels like I'm hitting it more, even though the art is not different. It's really only a smidge bigger, but it feels like night and day.
Yeah, feels really good as well because sometimes you're in Ishel and you just got caught out by yourself without an ally near you. You've only got so much peel for yourself.
Tricky. Your
to peel
jungler
up a
was
jungler or something
15 and
like that.
0. I
Now
don't
you
think
can
you
actually
cooked
help
anything.
defensively to heal yourself as well, which feels really good. Just another way again to play your god.
Nice. Love to hear it. So next up, you might have seen this one if you were paying attention on Twitter. Got to kind of tease this one a little bit. Bastet has something going on with those claws, those kitty claws.
Yeah, Ensnaring Claw, this is her third ability. So in this ability, she spawns a cat. The cat's health is going down. We know that this ability can be quite frustrating to play against, and we understand that having it be basic attack damage is
Damages
definitely
and roots?
a barrier for some
it's
gods,
not a-
right? Especially the low attack speed gods. They just have an
Oh,
issue
it's an
with
AoE
these
root.
cats. So again, because we're doing a change to this, we want to bring that down. That's the first piece of the puzzle here.
Just the first bit.
Yeah, let's move on
Oh,
to the
it's not
second,
even. It's just a
piece.
mass AoE.
The cat now does
all
damage.
enemies, mass
the cat
AoE.
is now damage and CC immune until it hits an enemy or reaches its max range. This was very important
So it's like
to
Scylla
Bastet
one.
players, as we've seen, because sometimes the cat will just die mid-projectile, and then essentially your cat has done nothing.
Yeah.
So now that's no longer a thing. It does not get stopped by whirlpools or stuns or anything. It'll just continue along its path until it reaches the enemy that it's trying to get to. But again, it's going to be weaker now. You can kill it much faster, and you can still walk away from it. That's the most important thing. Now, finally, the final piece of this puzzle. The initial hit of this ability now damages and roots all enemies in a 10-unit radius around it. So kind of flashback to another Bastet ability of years past. This is just going to be so nice to help with clear.
Jungle clear especially.
Especially jungle clear, which Bastet is generally weak at. She is considered an early game god that does.
Her clear is actually fine. You just can't use the 3 to clear.
Her clear is just not the greatest.
Yeah, no, it felt sometimes, if you're playing Bastet jungle, you would jump over a wall into a jungle camp.
I already think Bastet in current state is a top 3 or 4 jungler.
Cleared, you'd move on to the
So
next
she's
one. All of a
going
sudden,
to
all
be
you've
a
got is
top
single
2
target
jungler
killing
after
and
this.
Single target auto attacks just waiting for
Especially
your
with
guard
the
to
rest of the
knock you down.
change,
Now,
assuming
you can
they're
actually
gonna
use
talk
all
about.
three to be able to help you clear those side camps as well as the big one. Makes your
I mean,
single target
Alpha's
damage
fucked
just be
now,
focused
'cause
on the
if
big one,
everyone
while
sees
the
her as
three
OP,
can
she's
clear
gonna
the
get banned
sides,
every game.
Much better. As well, if you want to play
And he's
Bastet
never
in the
gonna get to
solo
play
lane,
it.
you can use it against the melees, the archers, and help you clear that wave. So all in all, a good feeling change for not a bad performing god, but again, just a feeling change on both sides of the coin, right? We want it to be easier to kill for gods that struggle to kill it, that have slower auto attacks, but feel better for Bastet so it doesn't die. During that travel time, there was multiple scenarios where I was playing and I'm Jormungandr, for example, and I could just be breathing while a cat gets thrown at me, and before it would even reach me, it would die to the breath. Yeah, so that's not fun for anybody. This fixes both of those issues. That's the intent of these changes.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Well, good changes to see. And we do have that Twitter clip again, just for those of y'all who might
Let's
not
just
have
take a
seen
gander.
it.
Why not?
Take a gander at it. So
You're right. This is a fall map.
And every skin
Why
has
is this
an
a fall
updated
map
targeter
when
as
it's
well, so you'll be
summertime?
able to see the little circle where it will be doing damage.
In fact, summer hasn't even started yet.
Well, there's another part of this clip that we'll get to a little bit later.
I could see as well. But yeah, you also see the root
Crusher.
animation or the root effect.
Crusher's
on each of the
ticking.
targets in the circle as well. So everybody that
two.
is getting hit will know why they were rooted.
yeah, and much like you said,
So they're not gonna nerf Bastet, and you're just gonna proc it. If they just make it so pets proc items with no nerfs, gods are gonna be OP.
The last on the list is Charybdis.
This one's huge.
This one
This
is.
one's really big.
Charybdis got a beefy change here. So let's Raging Tides. Let's start with.
All right, Raging
Okay,
Tides. her
this is
passive.
good.
So essentially, there have been a lot of discussions.
There has
about
to be an
Charybdis
alt
and
change
why
here.
Charybdis has a
It's her
couple
ult.
of,
Her whole
awkward
kit is
bits
good,
and
but her
we totally
ult,
understand
'cause her ult can't be hit.
The feedback coming from those different perspectives, and we're trying
I
to
love
kind of reach a
Charybdis,
nice
so
midpoint
this could be
of
hype.
where we believe that she's going to feel really good for the Charybdis player while not feeling too bad playing against her as well. So first up, Raging Tides. We're going to allow her to get tied a little
Passive
bit
builds
faster
faster,
here for her
dope.
basic attacks from 2% to 3%. This adds up over time, especially if you consider
I don't
having
think that's
the
really a
triple
problem
attack,
right now,
it's
so,
going to feel
okay.
real nice. Up next, Capsize. This ability has previously felt a little bit awkward to cast. You're
I
like,
like
"Hmm,
this
when do I
change.
cast
This is a big
Like,
deal.
Am I supposed to, interrupt myself while I'm fighting someone to get that extra prot shred?
Getting
But
the
we're
full
going to
charge
be
off does feel
decreasing the
weird
time
if you're
to
in
full
the, like,
charge
a
from 1
instant
second
fight.
to 2.75 seconds. So you're really spending a little bit less time
Yeah.
actually,
Feels less
not
punishing.
fighting,
Yeah.
less punishing to actually
to get
use
it fully charged.
Yeah.
Exactly. Next, this change is very big. And you're going to look at it and
Okay.
you're going to go, Lermy, what do you mean? Let me break it down for you.
All right.
Yes, this
as a
is
character
huge.
Can be very difficult to kind of have.
This
different
is huge.
interactions
I don't
with
even
sometimes
care that they
because
removed her
of the way
amplified
that
movement
her
speed.
timings work, and
My
because of the way
3
that
when I was
her
playing this
abilities
God of a
can
game,
be.
would
A
you
lot of that
interrupted
is not
every
super
time I tried to
flexible
cast it.
within the space
Every
that we can
time,
work with
bro.
At this point in time, so we have to kind of make some concessions here and there to kind of get
Every
a good
time.
feeling character in some way or another. And it's really, really important to us that Charybdis feels good for the Charybdis player. If you're not having fun playing Charybdis, you're not going to go back and play her again.
Your
It's just
3
as
felt
simple as
like
that.
shit, bro.
So we
It
really
had like a
wanted to try to
0.5 second
improve this
cast
feeling
time. It
for
would
the
just get
Charybdis player
interrupted
without, again,
every single
damaging
fucking time.
that reputation that she
It was
has
so
of being
bad.
super safe, of being really escapable.
This is a big change. Like
much from the enemy
if
perspective.
that ult
So
change
we
that
are
they're
adding CC
Texas in
immunity
there,
during the
she might
pre-fire
be heavy
disability,
meta.
which
Dive
means
in,
that
yeah.
yes, the
She'll
dive
have
in
lane
element.
pressure. She'll be
So
10
when
times
she's
better
actually
as an
going
Ami.
into this ability, she can no longer be canceled out of it. She can still be damaged while she's flying into the ability, so you can kill her before then. But she is going to be
The
getting
loss
into
of
that
movement
ability
speed is gonna
something's stop
suck.
her at
You're
the
gonna
time.
feel it, but I don't think it matters.
On top of that, what we're doing is we understand that that's a huge change. That is a really, really big change. We understand that. So what we're doing is we're making that ability more of a juke and less of a runaway button.
Right.
So the movement speed that you get for just going into this ability is gone. You don't get 20% anymore for free. You're getting 0%. So you are still immune. You are still
100% better than
undamageable,
Izanami.
untargetable.
Like,
But
as
you're
is,
not
she's
moving
already
any
better.
faster than you were before. But you can still move slightly faster if you amplify this ability by using your tide.
Yeah.
But we're taking that movement speed down from 40% to 25%. So again, you're not getting any ground if you're using Whirlpool form. unless
Bake
you
can't
amplify
build
the
that
ability.
item.
So you've got to have the tide. You've got to be able to do that.
It's physical
Otherwise,
power.
you're not going any faster. You just got the immunity, which is still really good, by the way.
Yeah, it's still
Really,
very
really
good.
by the way. But we understand that this is going to be moderately controversial, but please give her a try. Play against her. Just let us know. Keep us updated on the feedback with this ability. We have tested this quite a number of times in playtests and other applicable
I
places.
gotta see what is this
and
ult?
it
Improve the
feels good.
firing
It feels
timing and general
very,
feel.
very
What the
good
fuck does
as
that mean?
This player to not get
Thank
interrupted
you,
on this ability,
Marasoto.
to be able
Marasoto?
to feel like
Marasoto?
you have the chance to get away without, getting canceled over and over again. Things like that have happened before, and we've seen clips upon clips upon
Frustrating,
clips of
yeah.
that. It is frustrating.
Yeah.
So we want to try to eliminate the frustration while again being as fair as possible, and we really hope that this is a solution that will work out.
Dude, it has
for
to
the future.
travel
Again, I know it's
so
very
much
scary looking.
faster.
Believe me, we
To be
had a
good
lot of
with its
discussion
small
about
hitbox.
this. But please give it a try and let us know how you feel. But that's not it. That's not it, ladies and gentlemen. We got
Still
one more.
Still got one more.
The Maw Hungers. This is the ultimate ability. In general, we completely understand that this ability feels a little bit clunky to play with. We
Not a
are a
little,
little
it's
bit limited
dog
again
shit.
just due to the way the character's set up and what our resources look like at the moment. But we have an absolutely goated programming team because
Alex,
they
yep.
gave us a lot of tools to work with here to make this ability feel better. So it's hard to kind of explain without getting super into the weeds of the different processes and things that happen during this ultimate to make it look as amazing as it does. But they went in there, tinkered with it, and it feels significantly better to use.
Yeah. What I would say is if you're a player that plays Charybdis a lot, you're going to be really happy
Her
about
ult
this.
hits
If you
hard
don't
as
play
fuck.
Charybdis at
If
all,
you've
now
never
is
looked
the
at the
time to try
numbers,
it.
her
It feels
ult hits
significantly
very,
less
very
clunky.
hard.
There's no frustration point of getting interrupted when you go into your 3.
The
It's
problem
easier
with the
to manage
ult
your
is the
tide
fact
and
that you
more
using it for
balance in that
damage
way,
is
so you can
fucking
make the
trash
choice
because
to
you're
use
standing still for so
your
long
tide
and you
for
can
your
never
extra
hit it.
speed in your 3, and you're 2 now. You don't have to make the decision.
Her ult has a
of,
very
I'd
high
rather
base
just be
number.
auto-attacking instead of
And
channeling
high
out
scaling.
this wide ability. Now this is the time to actually get in and play Charybdis. If you haven't
I am
yet,
playing
and
this
those
god on
Charybdis
PTS,
mains, you'll be very
1000%.
happy, I hope.
Yeah.
Nice, all good stuff. Like what a
I
what a
gotta
huge
see the
number
ult. They're
of
not gonna
things
show
that have
it?
Changed, and as somebody who likes Charybdis but can't now auto attack,
I'll play her first if they're not gonna show it because I gotta see it.
Even though can't hit auto attack.
Or maybe I'll just don't know practice.
Not even to mention the Charybdis timing changes that we did last patch.
Oh
as well,
yeah, Charybdis
which-
has been polished.
She's been going through the ringer, I guess, of changes, but all for the better, we hope. So please, again, give her a try.
All
let
of
us
this
know
should be
what
on
you think,
PTS,
and,
assuming they have a
yeah,
PTS
enjoy.
tonight.
Yeah.
Not even done with this patch, by the way, but we'll continue.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I haven't got to the biggest part of
One
this
more
patch.
thing. So we've talked about items and gods
Here
and
you
a
go.
lot of stuff, but now we're getting something kind of crazy. Something kind of these people over here they're designing out of their minds and trying new and incredible things. And so the header for this section is item proc pass. So y'all have made some changes to the way that item procs work, is what I've derived from this. So kind of ease me into it.
They now
brought this on?
proc basic
So
attack
we've set
item
this
effects
up
on
in a
their
couple of categories. Right? The first category is basic attack items. There are certain characters due to the way
Yorm
that
is
their
gonna
basic
be
attacks function, the shape,
crazy.
the size,
What
the frequency,
the
whatever
fuck?
it is.
All right,
that
Set's about to go from
previously were not
1800
allowed
MMR to
proc basic
2800
attack
MMR
items
again
it was
because
deemed too
Yorm's OP.
powerful.
Yeah.
We kind of started this last patch with King Arthur, and now everybody else is getting in on it. Jormungandr, Bake Gojira, Fafnir, and Charybdis.
I'm very
all
interested
getting
to see how
various
good
levels
like that really
of
is.
changes to their basic attack proccing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I feel bad for our programmers. I joined the design team, and I think on the same day I asked.
Oh,
okay,
the
what
item
if
procs
Jormungandr
are
could proc
reduced on her.
Telkhines
This guy.
the same day.
Rich
And it's a
kid.
question that we really haven't been able to ask
Just
before.
on her
because
fucking
when we
triple.
were implementing duality, we actually had to make some new tech to be able to handle this type of thing. So we're able to use that same tech in different ways. So it really unlocked a lot of possibilities here. So Jormungandr can now proc Telkhines, Demonic Grip, Acts of Animosity.
Oh,
he can
fuck.
now also proc and get stacks of
Wait,
prophetic
Faf and
focus
Dragon
or
and go
attacks. He
damage
can proc,
Faf?
Warriors Axe.
They
instead
are
of having
breaking the
the
game,
ability.
but I think that's
Same
what
thing
everyone
with
wants.
Baki Kajura. Maybe he could, clear the
I think
jungle
everyone
with
wants
mana
this
grenades
to
and
be
things
like
that.
everything to be
There are a
OP.
lot of
I'd rather
possibilities
everything be
here.
OP
we were
and
just
fun as
talking about
fuck.
Charybdis, so coming back to
Can I
to her
Faf
as well.
jungle
Charybdis
now?
Previously had a reduction on all item procs. Just
When
at
I
a
go
base
ult,
level.
I just
believe even
fucking
Mystical
go
Mail
nuts?
Was reduced by this same tech because it was just a very basic reduction.
Well, it said it, not
Now,
on every. Oh
we're
yeah,
changing
it's
it to be
25% on
just
Faf. That might be
triple
too
shot
low.
Is reduced by 33%.
Or it might not since it's
All
AoE.
of the other ones, Spike Shot, which is your one, and your other auto attacks are now
It'll
not
proc
reduced
Poly
at all.
on a reduced
They're back
amount.
to-
100%.
They're back to being 100%.
Shins is so back.
Exactly. So now it just feels so much better.
But what
playing
about,
God. It
like,
makes so much more sense
what about,
as well. So on top of all
the
the Charybdis changes we did
Cyclopean? Won't it
before,
just proc
there's
over and
this
over
as
again?
well. And you'll see a last god there, Fafnir.
Oh, it's
in
being
his dragon
reduced by
form.
25%.
25%. That's intentionally
Oh.
a very low number. So that's
Yeah.
25% is the amount of damage and healing that you're getting from these items.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
it's doing
Death's
25% damage.
Embrace
You're
on your
trolling.
Fafnir dragon,
Who said
healing
that?
Insane
'Cause you're a
amounts
bot.
if you had 100%.
Cyclopean ring.
Cyclopean ring because you'd reset that cooldown.
It's doing
quickly.
25%
Active
damage.
Animosity, Telkhines,
Yes.
doing all
25% of the
above.
damage.
That is 25% of that, so a 75% reduction.
Yes, and
See,
he's lower than the
75%
others simply
reduction.
because his
right.
fire breath is just faster and
I was gonna
more
say for
frequent way to
AoE,
proc
like a
happen.
five, like
so you would be
AoE on
getting
5
2
people and doing
Fafnir, one of the gods
75%
that
damage of
is
whatever it is
above the attack speed
crazy.
cap because of
It's
his
like Cyclopean's about to go
dragon
nuts
form,
on
and
those
then he can
gods.
buff himself with his too as well. So if you're
Yes.
building those attack speed items, rocking them very quickly, it was pretty insane in
Oh,
playtest.
nuts. Okay.
Yeah, and it really, when we tested this the first
That's
time,
gonna have
it made me
Telkhines
like, oh,
proccing at
that's why we've never
25%,
done this.
Cyclopean proccing
But
over
with
and
this
over
new tech,
again,
we
I'd
can adjust
assume.
it and we can scale it in
Cyclopean's
ways,
gotta be
and
busted
Maybe this won't be the final pass in
on
it,
those
if there's
gods.
feedback and there's balance issues, we can always adjust it. But
Yeah,
now
of
that we
course.
can adjust it, we're
Because
there,
it should
we've
be
unlocked a whole new
insta-procking like a
possibility.
2%
Yeah.
proc over and
With,
over again,
this-
right?
This next change we've got going on.
oh yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, you just let into it. Let's
Get away.
dive in with the next change.
Pets is the next category.
This is huge.
Pets. So this is going to kind of be the final thing that we're talking about today. I kind of want to preamble a little bit just before I get into pets. We know that there are some abilities that don't proc item effects. That unfortunately did not fall into the same tech with these guys. So there are going to be some things that might be missing here that you're like, why doesn't this proc? Or why have you guys not gotten to this? We're getting there. We're still evaluating them. We have to do a
Tiamat's
couple extra steps to
beast
get
charge
there.
is
It's
gonna
something that we're
fuck
considering
you
for
up.
future patches. It's all going to depend on where the technology
This is
ends
gonna
up.
be
So
OP.
still working through that. Be patient with us. We got a list here though for you that's working right
So
now. So let's
Calder's
get to that
dash
list.
only,
So
which is still a single
Pets.
proc, which you would
we have to
expect.
kind of make a rule because there's a lot of different.
They're basically making it
sorts
so it's a
of pets.
single
so you're gonna
proc.
see the pets divided into 3 different
You
categories.
can't proc more
essentially.
than
You've got
once.
Your single target attacks.
Well, I guess the dog could proc it
your
again after
multi-target
a few
attacks,
seconds.
and your AoE attacks. So first up, a couple examples of single target attacks are Scotty's Calder. And so these are only proccing ability items. They do not proc basic attack items, only ability items.
Specifically the dash, by the way.
Yes, this is Calder's dash. So when he is essentially, leveled up enough, he'll do a dash to attack someone that's on a cooldown, but it's only ever one person. So they will proc for 100%
Ollie is an
damage and
auto
heal.
attack,
So Crusher
brother.
will do 100%.
Heartseeker,
etc.
Bluestone.
Ollie is not procced
Tiamat,
on abilities.
Same case with Summon Beast.
It's triggered on
One target
abilities. It's
only,
procced on your autos.
It's going
Nice
to do
try.
100%.
Yep, Soul Reaver, Soul Gem, Ethereal Stuff, all those things.
Divine Ruin.
Yes.
Threatening.
Yep, lots of really fun stuff there. Let's move
Divine
on to the
Ruin's
next
gonna
category,
fucking pro-
though,
that
which
only
is
proc
going
once,
to be multi-hits. So it's still single target, but it can bounce around, or it can re-aim, or anything like that. So Artemis is 4 charge. This is not any of the board basic attacks.
turret!
It's just a charge.
It's
So
doing
they will all proc at
75%. I don't care, the
75% damage and
turret!
heal. That's a good example of one. Another one is Vulcan's Inferno Cannon Shot. So this is every time the Inferno Cannon fires,
That's
75%.
So, wait, so now Soul
damage
Reaver is
and heal.
100% better. better.
Finally, you can get some
it's crazy.
anti-heal on Vulcan and be able to proc it with your turret and
drop the
soul
turret,
gem stacks every time it shoots a god and things like that. Really,
Oh
opening up
my
more build
God.
possibilities and just being more creative with your builds.
Oh
really
my
cool.
god, builds are changing. Gods are
visualize it.
are
It's like-
definitely
Let's
getting
take a
better.
look.
Dive in,
Let's
please.
Vulcan
What
should
the
be
turret
fucking
can actually
nuts.
really do now.
Show us, please.
Yeah, please.
Oh yeah, look at all those yellow
Oh
numbers.
my fucking
Soul
goodness.
This is a good time to highlight something as well because Vulcan being a magical god, having soul gem. Soul gem actually, sorry, not soul gem.
We don't care about
Soul
Arch
Reaver
Druids,
has
though.
subsequent
The
hit
biggest
reduction
thing to me
anyway.
is Soul
So
Reaver,
the
Soul
first hit will
Gem
do
for
100%
mages.
damage on a normal ability, and then every time after that, during that 3-second period, it will do half damage. So you have to remember as well, Vulcan's turret is 75% damage, so it's actually 75% the first time and then half of that the next time. So these are all getting reductions to be balanced in some way, and that's why this change was possible and hasn't been done before. It's because we have this tech, we can adjust it per ability and make these new rules where these multi-hit abilities like this have
This is interesting.
reductions. The AoE hits will have
Ability
even
art's
greater
still
reductions.
been a thing. It never wasn't a
We'll
thing.
get to those. Up next, shall we?
Yeah, dive in.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
spoke
They
about
just
it earlier.
buff
One of
Scotty.
those AoEs for 50% is going to be Bastet.
And Bastet, and they're already good.
So that circle area is what's going to be proccing items. Hera also back again.
50%
with Argus's
on
Divine
them.
Shroud Aura. That's
The
when you
scaling
use
is
the
good here, but it
Argus
just
out.
buffs
And then
them. This is
Argus's
just
initial
direct
slam
buff.
as well coming down when you summon him. Up next,
Yeah,
we've
these
got
are crazy
Nua,
direct
Play Soldier
buffs.
Dash, and this is a special exception being at this 50% damage.
It's
because
not
you go,
like
"Learn me, they're only ever dashing
game
one time."
breaking.
Well,
Like
here's
your
the
ult's
thing.
not.
There's
These
three.
abilities aren't gonna solo people now, but it's just gonna add
100%
another
three
layer of
times,
damage that you
on
didn't
the same
have
target
to the
is
kids.
going to be a lot.
Pretty nutty,
A lot.
yeah,
So
pretty
that's why she's getting a special exception. And then also
So,
on top
like,
of that, you've
a
got
late
Set,
game
which has got the clone
Art
skewer.
board is
That's
gonna
the
hit
skewer that's
for like
coming
an
from the
extra
clones,
200
not Sets.
damage
Totally fine for Set.
because of
Any extra
Heartseeker
ones are getting
plus
this reduction on them, but they'll
Bluestone
proc, again, crush your
plus whatever the
Heartseeker,
fuck
Bluestone,
else you
whatever
got.
you want.
Yeah. So, man, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of crazy. Like we went over that, and it feels like it passed in an instant. But that's a
Set
lot
doesn't
of
have
potential play. You know,
pets.
like
Yeah,
that's.
yeah.
Oh, I should start building on hit because of my abilities, or like that's. I don't know. There's
That's
a lot,
right.
especially the Vulcan.
And
side.
notice how it's not
It got
working on
even
Arachne
crazier
spiders.
behind
This
the
isn't.
scenes. I'll
Oh
share
wait,
this
wait.
as well. When we
Clone
implemented
skewer?
this tech, it was
Wait,
on
it is gonna
all pets.
count?
So I'm talking Arachne spiders, Erlang's dog, Tiamat's serpents, right? We had at one point each of Arachne's spiders proccing kin size, each of them proccing executioner. And so we took this tech, made it crazy, and then scaled it back from there to a point that we're actually happy with it.
So all of that is possible, but there are effects like that, like especially with the basic attack items and
Yes.
that's that basic attack that we are not touching at this point in time because we feel like they are just not going to function in a way that we are happy with at this point in
Yeah.
time.
So a good way to look at this as well is like certain pets have abilities, just like we're talking about Kaldir's Dash, you know, Hera's Landing and Hera's AoE. Those are abilities on pets, so they proc ability items. We're staying away from the basic attacks that would proc basic attack items for now, at least.
Yes, so no nays, no spiders,
That's right.
no Erlang dogs.
Mhm.
All of those guys are not involved in this at all. It's just the pets that have abilities.
That's correct.
Okay,
You're
that
saying
makes
no
sense.
nays. I have a friend who's gonna like attack me.
Oh, wait, Set's
now, 'cause
pets
he's
the best,
don't
trust me.
have
I'm
abilities.
sure. I'm
Sorry,
sure.
Kuzma
but-
mains, not quite.
Like, you are
We're
just
still rooting
moving
for you
them.
Turtle dudes. Well, shoot, that does it, I guess, huh? We did it. We
So
talked
wait,
about 11
will
and
Set's
5.
clones also proc
Thank
Heartseeker?
y'all for that. That was again, y'all. have
That's
been
gonna be
cooking.
a
I kind
nice
of been
buff
away
for
a
Set,
little bit, so I
if
came
that's the
back.
case.
And last weekend and like Monday of this week, I've
I
just
don't know if
been
this will
trying to catch
change
up with
build
all the
orders
crazy
though,
stuff.
because
It's not
that's
easy.
still just
'Cause y'all
late
work hard
game.
and fast.
Like
It
you
is
feel that
something.
late
It is
game. You don't
impressive.
feel that
So
early game.
huge shout
None
out
of
to
those
y'all.
buffs will affect
And
the
thank
early
y'all
game.
for hanging
I
out
don't
with us
think.
today. You know, we are in to our 5th update of year 11. It feels like we were just at SWC like a week ago.
Oh.
And now we're playing alphas or early alphas for Smite 2 and talking about the 5th update of the year. Like,
better
Are they
and
gonna
better
talk
every
about a
time, I feel
Smite
like.
2
and it's gonna keep
alpha the
getting
next
better
one?
and better, and I hope y'all know that.
Nope.
So again, thank y'all all for coming out to close the show. PTS, y'all always know it's gonna be up sooner than later, so make sure you're keeping your eye out on Twitter. We'll let y'all know when the doors open. You can get in. Start
They didn't
testing out all
show
this craziness.
Charybdis ult.
If you happen to miss anything or want to run back and want to see the numbers again, make sure to check out the update notes. You know they're going to be going up. They're going to tell you all the crazy stuff we just talked about
Tired,
in
I want
detail,
to sleep,
so you
but
can
I have to
go and
work.
start theory crafting your builds and getting ready for that ranked
Leave it at work.
climb with all these crazy new things going out. Also, make sure if you're interested in hanging out with the devs, getting a little more dev insight, it's not going to be today. We're not doing it after the show like we have done in the past. It's going to be on Friday. We've been doing all kinds of fun stuff. Production's always doing fun stuff on Friday, so make sure you're coming out for that. for a little dev insight. Bring your questions, start looking through everything and formulating, like, why is this way? How does this change? Why hasn't this changed? You know, feel free to bring those things in on Friday, because we're going to have the devs hanging out and talking through and answering some of those questions and kind of diving a little deeper into some of these changes and why things did or didn't happen and what it meant, and maybe more of that that back-end stuff that it's a little too granular for right now, but it's really cool to hear about. So make sure to check that out on Friday. I'm going to repeat myself. I know I repeat myself a lot. Thank you so much for this for playing Smite 2. Like, it was so cool being able to go into Twitch and see that and see people having a blast with it. All the clips I saw on Twitter, like every time somebody tweeted at me, I don't care if it was, hey, this was, you know, maybe work on this, or, oh, this was incredible. Like, I loved every time I was mentioned in a tweet about it, because that's feedback. That showed how passionate y'all were about helping us continue to grow this into
I don't think they're going to tell us when the next alpha is.
It already is and will continue to be, because I wholeheartedly promise it's only going to be better every time that we open it up and let people come in and try stuff out. So thank y'all again. And I think that's all the rambling that I can do. So I have no voice left. Again, thank y'all for being here today, all three of you. It was super. I always love getting to come here and do the shows. And yeah, I'm excited to see what y'all cook up for the next update.
Exciting.
Well, either way, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching.
All right.
Later.
All right, stream. That's it for me. I'll be back tonight. Streaming PTS all night, so I'll be on at like 7, maybe 6:30 if I can figure things out. The patch notes will be up in like 30 minutes. They're uploading right now. And there's 2 more alphas before the beta. So we're literally just getting 1 a month. So they're literally just 1 a month. We'll probably get 1 at the beginning of June, and then we'll get 1 at the beginning of July. Actually, probably not the beginning of July. It'll probably be like the middle of July. That sucks. I mean, it's what they said. I just thought they would go for more. All right. I'll see you all in like, what, 2 hours? Probably. So have a good night. Thank you, God King, and I'll see you in a bit.